trust this show.
You do?
I very much so, inherently.
Thank you.
Trustworthy.
Thank you. And you are considered a trustworthy voice in Philadelphia sports that makes me look better.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Now, Ray doesn't necessarily make the show look better, but he is on the show. And we welcome Ray Dunn to the program. Good morning, Ray.
We went from best-looking show on the station to Ray doesn't make us look better. Was it the beard? What happened?
I feel like you're definitely freaked out by the no beard.
It's not the aesthetic look. I'm just saying that, like, as far as the voice you trust.
Oh, yeah. No, nobody trusts me.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, not aesthetically.
No.
And by the way, Amy, I shaved the beard, and Ray, on our feedback segment, Haley was telling me, everybody in the chat was complimenting me, saying I look 10 years younger. I look better with the beard trimmed down. I didn't hear any feedback from that. You didn't tell me people were being nice to me on the YouTube chat. That's unusual.
He wouldn't.
I was missing that in the midst of me being ripped and called a 12-year-old for the fact that I shaved. I'm sorry I stole your moment there, John.
Yeah, I mean, like, people make fun of me for my shirts and I wear plaid shirts and all this other stuff.
I liked the shirt last week. There was one that was kind of like a paisley situation. Slowly.
Thank you. Yes, there you go.
It.
I wore a shirt that Cordell Stewart was at the Super Bowl was actually touching and telling me he loved it.
See, now that's
Where
nice.
did I get it from?
Was it a Gordon Gartrell? My goodness, that was something else.
You went Gordon Gartrell.
I don't know about Cordell Stewart talking about your shirt.
Everybody has the same reaction to that. We were at dinner in Minneapolis. I still have the shirt in rotation because of Cordell Stewart. I was with Andrew Bach, local guy, and Pat Gallen, CBS 3, sitting down at dinner, and I'm sitting next to Cordell Stewart by chance, and he's touching my shirt, telling me he loves it.
Velvet? That's nice.
He said, where'd you get that from? I'm like, the Bloomingdale's app. And he's like, I love it. Like, what size is that? And like, literally.
Oh, wow. Don't you love when people just really go deep dive and stuff like that? Where did you get it? How much was it? Send me the link.
He was on his phone looking to see if he could recreate it.
Wow, he really did like it.
I'm telling you, it was.
Well, then he called Lisa Bonet and he could have her make it. Just like
for much less money.
For much less money than Theo spent.
There you go. I love the reference. All right, well, Amy, I know you were doing post-game duties last night. I saw a little bit because I was very busy doing some other stuff last night. I saw Mark Jackson in the crossover with Ala and Kate, but man, that was as frustrating of a loss. And this is actually a good thing because this means that there's expectations that we want to see this team win games this year.
Exactly. Everything's been going well. It was bound to have a letdown. The disappointing part is that it was a letdown in a way. You were leading by 24 points. And I gave Ray the stat right before you walked in. This is not something to hang your hat on. The Sixers are the only team in NBA history to have a 75-point opening quarter, or I'm sorry, 45 opening quarter, 75 at halftime, score under 40 in the second half and lose. I didn't know what was more remarkable, the fact that they were the first to do that, or there was some team out there that did all that and then won. Right? You don't even get to 40 points in the second half after you scored 45 in the opening frame. Like, it's just, there was a lot less movement offensively. There was a lot to be desired in that second half.
So, I mean, and there's an elephant in the room here that we'll get to, but Maxey went cold in the fourth quarter, terrible shot late, and beat a terrible shot late, 39 points, bad loss, down 24. I remember Alice saying this in the first half where you're almost celebrating a win when you're up 24 points, you're up 20 points. And Ala even stopped himself and said, still early.
Yep.
Game's not over yet. And I was like, yeah, he's right, but this game's over. There's no way that the Bulls are coming back. The Bulls came back.
And the thing is, they have Josh Giddey, and they had a much better defensive presence. And Trey Jones really frustrated Tyrese Maxey a lot. And I don't think that we saw that coming necessarily. But Josh Giddey, it was the second straight double-double. He's a very good player. There's no doubt about that. It was just surprising in the way that they got so cold. That everyone got cold, right? Like, everyone got cold.
Well, everything Maxey put up in the first half was going in. Right? That's how you score 75 points in the first half. You score 45 points in the first quarter. But the elephant in the room is Joel Embiid. And this isn't, Amy, I want to make sure that I say this because even yesterday on Unfiltered, I kind of went off on Joel Embiid and why I don't think when him and Harper are a good comp as far as when they talk and people react. But this isn't a criticism of Joel Embiid. I'm trying to figure out, and 76ers, diehard 76ers fans, aren't all of our different fan bases for the teams unique? The Eagles are kind of the standard, and there's no surprise. But 76ers fans, sometimes when you have the Joel Embiid, he's still an MVP truther. There's no way you can get rid of him. He's the best player in the NBA. when I watched the game last night, they put him in with 5 minutes to go. In the first half, he was just flowing with the offense. It was working. It wasn't, we got to force it to Embiid. Everything was working. The ball was moving. He was getting his touches. And he comes in, he was ice cold. He comes in with about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I mean, the game was kind of already going the wrong way at that point.
It was going big time the wrong way.
Yeah.
So you bring him in for what reason? To change that.
Right, defensively.
And that didn't happen.
No,
It became an isolation game with Maxey, and it became we got to get the ball to Embiid to get baskets.
Well, and the weird thing was that two-man game with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid was working to perfection in the first half. And there was obviously an adjustment on the Bulls' end when you think about how they were going to see that. Joel Embiid will always take up some kind of presence, whether it's on the offensive end or defensive end, just physically and the talent-wise. But when you start to resort to that, because at that point you're almost in that desperation mode. It was like a 3-point game, I think, with about 5.5 minutes to go when he came in. So
he came in, it was a 7-point lead.
There you go, 7-point lead. So, but they had already been leaking some serious oil. And they was like trying to stem the tide. There was a lot of standing around. And then there was just some bad decision making. There was one bucket we had on our postgame show and our breakdown to show Quentin Grimes literally gave up a drive that but he had I think that was a lot of, all right, we're going to try to feed whoever we can, but I'm also having a really rough game. I mean, Quentin Grimes was one of the worst games that he's had. Unfortunately for him, it was 0 for 5 from 3. Wasn't doing the same drives that he was. I don't know if that's something they saw defensively that they thought they weren't going to be able to get those, but it was I mean, it's obviously going to change. I'm not going to say the offense changed drastically because Joel Embiid went in, but it certainly changed. But it was stagnant even before that.
Embiid in the second half, 1 for 10, 2 points. Maxey, who finished with 39, he made some bad decisions late.
They didn't score a bucket in the final 6.5 minutes.
It's almost impossible. That's how you lose a game like that.
Hey, how do you not? 0 for 11 down the stretch, last 6:26 of the game.
Yeah, he came in with 5:39 left, and he actually had where he tracked a guy on a fast break and had a block shot Embiid,
right,
which was a great play. But otherwise, and I know Mark talked about this on the broadcast, he's a liability out there defensively right now.
Defensively, you're seeing glimpses, right? The very first game, defensively, it was awful. He wasn't moving well. He wasn't in the paint area. And then you saw some glimpses. You're like, okay, well, that's 2 blocks in the Celtics game. Okay, well, that's getting there. You're feeling that he's getting into a little bit of a rhythm. 4 blocks in that game last night, 2 of them coming in the second half. And that one was really big, but they're so diametrically opposite from what you're seeing for the entirety of it, right? It's just, I know they're trying to work him in, and you're wondering, are you sacrificing one for the other?
Like you just said it, they're trying to work him in. And to be fair, it's early in the season, and Charles Barkley, and we'll play this later on this hour, he joined us yesterday, and he had said they're not going to win anything without Joel Embiid and with Paul George. They need to get these guys with the rest of the team, and that's the only way that you're going to win. And I disagree with that because I don't think they're going to win regardless. But, like, they really are trying to work him in. And whether or not they would have won the game or lost the game last night or lost the game if they didn't bring Joel Embiid back in, for me, he changed the energy of the game. And pretty much any time he's played this year, he's changed the energy in the game for me. And it really isn't, I don't want to criticize the guy at all because he's playing with bad knees. His body is broken down. He's a great talent. But if they don't
feel that way watching the Celtics game?
I mean, it's not been every game.
Yeah, okay.
It hasn't been every game, but for the most part, I just think that for the most part, I'm over the whole Embiid thing. I don't know how many people feel the same way. I was on social media actually this morning. It's like I was reading game recaps. I know you guys do your post game. I was reading game recaps. In some recaps, it didn't mention Joel Embiid much at all. In another one, it was Joel Embiid totally changed the energy of the game. So it really is from person to person, fan to fan, what they saw last night. Ray, what did you see? You were at NBC Sports Philly last night working. What did you see?
What I saw was a second half that looked a lot like me after a night out in Wrigleyville. Like, they're out in Chicago, and they looked like they were exhausted in that second half. That was the biggest thing for me. I didn't get it. It's the front end of a back-to-back. Tonight in Cleveland,
oh boy,
I'm terrified of what's going to happen if they retired yesterday at the front end of it. They ran out of gas. Maxey's missing shots short. With Embiid, the defensive problem is there. Like, the mobility with him right now defensively is an issue. I still see a guy with offensive talent that can make things happen, but they did get reliant on a two-man game that they had made clear adjustments to. They understood, hey, this is going through Maxey and Embiid. And so much of this season, when we've seen them have their good moments so far, there were 6 games of evidence prior to this. We've seen them spreading around. We've seen them moving. We've seen just a lot more offensively. It felt, and I don't want to go back to this, but I harken back to kind of like our frustrations when Doc was here, and it was like, oh, it's just Harden and Embiid. Like, we're just trying to pick and roll. We're just trying, no movement offensively. And I don't know necessarily if the energy is Embiid-centric, but the problem surrounding Embiid and the fact that it was Embiid and Maxey were the only two guys on the floor that were doing anything. If this team truly has more depth than teams previously and more guys to go to than teams previously, then you have to actually use them. And last night, I don't think they were used in the last quarter, really.
Yeah, I have questions about Nick Nurse and how he handled everything in the fourth quarter last night.
Let's talk about the third quarter. They've won 1 third quarter in 7 games. So when you want to come out and you mentioned it, we all kind of did joke when I was like, hey, don't count your chickens yet. I'm like, okay, you're up 20-something, but stop it.
Yeah, I was counting the money, though.
Yeah,
let's face it.
Absolutely. You're thinking all right, this is going to be done, fine, whatever. When you have a really tough third quarter, it's hard for them to bounce back. And then it's like you're almost shell-shocked. It's like, wait, what happened?
No, but you're so right. Momentum, when Embiid came in, they didn't lose momentum when he came in. They were losing momentum fast.
But it didn't help stem the tide, which is what it was supposed to do.
610-632-0975. My honest reaction from last night's game, not a hot take, honest reaction. This ain't it. Embiid coming in the game, this ain't it. I think they win the game without Embiid coming in. 610-632-0975. Nick Nurse talked about the offense in the second half and Joel Embiid's role in that. We'll play that text line, phone line, 610-632-0975. We will take phone calls next segment. It is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia is a sport.
And Embiid, that's Nick Nurse. Maxey and Embiid, the two late shots that they had were unbelievably bad.
Yeah, the one Maxey one. He had plenty of time left in the shot clock. It was double digits. There was one that I didn't like it was about 2 minutes to go that Embiid hesitated. He had a moment, which he doesn't usually hesitate, and then Vucevic poked it out.
Yep.
And that's unusual for him. And there's a couple times, like, Quentin Grimes gave him the ball late. He had, like, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm like, I don't know why Quentin Grimes didn't take that. But the one before that, with about 2.5 minutes to go, where it ended up being a turnover, there was a hesitation. I get that you're trying to do a pump fake. Just go strong. Just shoot it. I'm not saying dunk it. Just shoot it.
Right.
Just shoot it.
Yeah.
Usually it goes in for you.
Embiid was he the one? He shot off 1 foot.
That was like there was literally shot clocks running down. So Quentin Grimes was over here in the near side. Looks like he could have maybe driven. He drives all the way back to the top of the key. Now there's like shot clocks at 4, 3. Joel Embiid's there next to him. He literally just looks at him, passes, and Joel Embiid's like, "There's 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
All right, here we go." So that one I'm not going to put on Embiid. There's 2 before that where those are generally shots that he has a better chance of making, and one was short arm, one was back iron. There's 3 actually. One was short arm, one was back iron, and one was a turnover.
The Maxey where he airballed, that was an airball by 5 feet. He didn't come close to hitting the rim.
I watched that to make sure. I was like, did it get
yeah, was it blocked? No, because that's what it looked like. It didn't. But it didn't.
To Ray's point, that was something we were talking about in the newsroom. It was, is it us or do they look tired? And listen, if you look up the minutes played right now in the NBA, 1, 2, 3, they're all wearing a Sixers uniform. It's it's Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Kelly Oubre. But VJ Edgecombe's 20 years old.
Right.
Like he doesn't look tired to me out there, but the offense was certainly sluggish. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, and you know what happens? Now the buckets aren't going in, and you can feel the momentum, and then you're tight. And then Embiid comes in, it changes everything.
That was the biggest part of those shots late. It felt like a team that was like, oh, we got to get something up because we haven't seen anything go in.
No, and Amy's right. Grimes is like, oh, bleep, there's 4 seconds left. Here you go, Joel, bail us out.
And the thing is, for me.
It's like the Celtics game.
Yeah,
yes.
it is.
Celtics game.
Exactly.
Same finish, yep.
If you're not seeing, and there is a lot about the mind over matter. If you see the ball go through the hoop, it does give you a little bit of sense of like, all right, well, at least that went in. Get to the free throw line then. Like, that's what I was unappreciative of, was the lack of driving. And I think when you listen to Nick Nurse there and you listen to him, further in the postgame, other different answers, but that answer that we just played really answered a lot of it. We didn't have a lot going on. Then drive the ball. Try to create something. If you don't see your shot going in, get to the free throw line because there's a good chance that's going in.
Yeah, Maxey had 39, struggled late. Grimes actually had a great look at the basket for the win. Same thing with Maxey on Friday night. Yeah. He had a great look to win the game as well.
Yeah, great. I have no problem with that. Some people would have wanted to maybe go for the tie. It was a great play call. You saw Maxey as the trailer. They thought probably he was going to drive, straight down Broadway, but that was a good shot. It usually goes in, but Grimes 0 for 5 is not something you count on.
No, he's been great this year.
He's been very good. Yeah, very, very good.
All right, we'll take a couple phone calls with the text line. Let's start off with Greg calling from Levittown, Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yo.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, I thought last night that was a power struggle.
How so?
That was as soon as Embiid got in the game with 6 minutes to go, it was a contest between Maxey and Embiid. Who can shoot the most shots? Who can play the hero? Maxey took some horrible, horrible late shots. Not just that three-pointer, that airball three-pointer. He took a couple isolation jump shots where the ball wasn't moving. It stuck in his hands. He got the ball, and he tried to drive through 5 people, and then Embiid got the ball. He tried some isolation, back down jump shots. Nobody else touched the ball.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. It's an interesting comment. See, I don't think it's a power struggle between the two. It just changes the dynamic on the court, where Maxey's trying to make plays and Embiid's trying to make plays, and at that point, like you had said, they got tight and they needed buckets.
And then you're just like you're feeling like it's on me. Power struggle. I hear what he's saying, and you listen to the second half of what Greg said. There is just like, oh well, they were just trying to isolate. I think it's because they felt that pressure of we need to get some. We're the leaders, not between each other, but that pressure that they put on themselves to be. We're going to be one of us has to be the one that gets them back over the hump.
Is this because when the Sixers are going good or going well, it looks like Maxey's team.
Right.
Like, this is Tyrese Maxey's team. I think my biggest takeaway of this season so far is this is Tyrese Maxey's team and the young guys. And then Embiid, it's a matter of what is the formula for getting him to be a part of what can work. And I'm not saying it's easy. And this is like, I'm not even criticizing Embiid. He is what he is at this point. This is not he came in last night with 5 minutes and 39 seconds left, and it was, I'm going to be Joel Embiid MVP, and that's how we're going to win the game. It's not working out like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy, he didn't play previous game, too. So that's another thing you have to remember, that when you listen to Joel Embiid, and we've been listening to him for 10 years, the one thing that's been very consistent with him is he needs to play to get in rhythm. That was why you thought he would play the front end of this, because you couldn't have him that many days off. It would just be too much for him. And that's true for a lot of players. I would venture to say almost every single basketball player. But when Joel is going, and there was a couple 2 seasons ago where he was actually playing, he played at a back-to-back, and he played 3 of the 5 games in like whatever, a 7-day period. It was some of his best basketball because he can get into that rhythm. It's very hard. They've all talked about they don't like the minutes restriction. It's a necessary evil right now, but there's got to be a way to remedy those two things about rhythm and rest, because it's just not working, because it's a lot to ask a guy that played the first 5 minutes or 7 minutes of the third, then didn't play the last back half of the third or the beginning of the fourth.
He sat for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then ice cold coming off the bench.
Here you go. Now we need you to save us.
It's not fair.
Because when he left the game in the third, they were up 19 points, 89-70. That's when he left the game in the third. They went on the Bulls went on a 14-6 run. I mean, it's just, there's got to be some better way to manage those minutes. And I don't know what it is, but whatever happened last night, that wasn't it.
So I don't want to assume he's not playing tonight, but you would think this earlier in the season.
That would be very surprising, given the fact that they've been very strict with the minutes restrictions. Yeah.
But here's the danger: they come out tonight and they look like this free-flowing 3-point shooting
everybody's
team.
like, you don't need him.
That's my dream tomorrow morning to come in here.
Not true. I will call in. I cannot wait to call it.
610-632-0975.
That number.
Yeah, call that number.
Yeah, I will.
Like Damon, who we'll talk to coming up next. 610-632-0975. That is the text line number as well. And coming up next also, Amy, big picture. Is this a philosophy struggle? But also, Charles Barkley joined us yesterday and talked about what this team needs to win. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks post-deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock, with the Eagles having made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. They acquired a pair of corners, Michael Carter and Jair Alexander, as well as edge rusher Jalen Phillips. Roseman spoke yesterday to the media, talking about the risks that they are not averse to taking ahead of the deadline.
I feel like when there's opportunities to be aggressive for the right players, we're not going to sit on our hands. I don't think that you have great success without taking great risks at times. They got to make sense, and so we can't be afraid to fail.
They're going to need to find some great success the next couple of weeks. A big game coming out of the bye Monday night in Green Bay against the Packers. The Birds return to the practice field tomorrow for that. 76ers lost last night 113-111 to the Bulls. They blew a 24-point lead and lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Tyrese Maxey had 39 points in the loss. They're back in action tonight against the Cavaliers at 7 o'clock. You can catch that game right here on the Fanatic. The Flyers last night won 5-4, a shootout win in Montreal over the Canadiens. Bobby Brink with a pair of goals in the win for the Flyers. This update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
is probably right now front runner for Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's way ahead of schedule. But the Sixers are not going to go anywhere unless Joel and Paul George are healthy. I've said that 100 times.
That's Charles Barkley yesterday on Middays with Marks on our All-Star Day. He was on promoting his new steakhouse and cigar bar at the Valley Forge Casino. Thank you, Charles, for that. Yeah, I totally disagree with what he said there. I don't think this team is winning with Joel Embiid or without Joel Embiid. And Amy and I were just talking during the break. Paul George coming back, you're going to put those two guys on the floor at the same time for 30-some minutes a night?
No.
Wait, you want to give up 170 points a game? Paul George is no longer your 3, Amy.
He's no longer your 3. He is your full-time 4. That when he turned 36 years of age, the idea of a 3 anywhere associated with his name, whether it's in minutes or his position, for me, is gone.
27 minutes a night?
There you go. I don't care if it's 29 minutes, but it's just, I feel like what we've seen, and I do agree, and I will disagree, unfortunately, with you, John, but I will agree with Charles in the fact that I do think that they will go further. I don't know how far they're going to go. I mean, we all got so excited with the 5-1 start. I do think that they are a better team if Joel Embiid is somehow playing. I would be hesitant to say it's not a good team with Joel Embiid. Like that sentence is never going to come out of my mouth. But I do agree in the fact that it is going to be a much bigger liability if you have PG and Embiid out there trying to figure out, because you have a lot more teams that run with pace. The Bulls are a pacey team, right? The Magic like to run. The Hornets like to run. I know the Hornets, the Pistons like to run. The Cavaliers we're going to see tonight. They like to run. They
like to run, yep.
And you can't have two gentlemen out there that don't like to run. I get it.
I mean, honestly,
you've got the horses, why not run that style?
Oubre, the 3 guards, Oubre, Paul George. That's the NBA today.
Yeah, you could even go so far as to say Trendon Watford is a guy that's going to be there. Here's a point forward, loves to handle the ball. We all forgot about elbow laceration and Dominic Barlow, but he was a guy. That was the worst laceration I've ever heard of. I don't know what happened. I would love to know, but hopefully he gets back soon because he really burst onto the scene. And early on, you thought, well, this is the perfect guy for this style.
Wait, but isn't
Sixers thing of all time?
It is, for sure. Yeah, only the Sixers could have anything like that happen.
An elbow laceration that we're sitting here wondering what happened to the elbow.
Speaking of Kelly Oubre, the whole Kelly Oubre getting hit by a car situation from a couple years ago. But, and unfortunately with Embiid, because he is the MVP Embiid and he's so talented, now you're trying to figure out, how do we get him incorporated? Because what Charles is saying, in effect, is correct. Because he's got the talent, and if the team can figure out how to get him and Paul George involved in everything, give me your lineup of Paul George and Embiid are on the floor at the same time. I mean, think about that. The 3 guards, Paul George and Embiid?
No, you can't do that. You can't sacrifice that much. A little bit more ranginess. I think you go 2 guards. You go Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, PG, and Embiid. If you go that route, if you're running with those 3 guards, I can't.
Not with Embiid out there. That's what I'm saying.
That's not. If Embiid's out there with the 3 guards, then I have to have somebody a little and I cannot believe I'm going to say it. A guy that's undrafted is going to start over PG, but I just don't know how you could have that lineup with 3 guards, PG.
Fitting both of Paul
PG
George
and Joel Embiid, that would be wild.
Paul George and Embiid on the floor at the same time feels like right now, after watching the rest of the team play, is going to be tough.
Square peg and round hole.
Yeah.
Let's
go to Damon in West Philly. Damon, what do you got? Hello.
Hey, Johnny Marks, welcome back. Amy, I love watching you, Coach and Mark. Let me just say this. Last night was frustrating, but I know people will quickly, and these are the people to me, Amy, that don't like Joe, want to blame him. And I'm glad you guys touched upon it. When he left the game, clearly they had a 19-point lead. And I didn't expect them back. There was a play, Amy, in the fourth quarter where he tried to pass the ball to VJ Mark 3 times. He didn't want to take the shot. I thought Grimes was not as aggressive as he normally is in the game. So Mark Jackson hit it on the nail. Simply, this is this team. If they don't move the ball, they will struggle. I don't care if PG's in there. I don't care if he's not in there. They have to move the ball. This is who they are, and they got away from that, and that's what allowed the Bulls to get back into the game. And let me just say this real quick. I'm more optimistic than you are, Johnny. I think they can do something, and they do need Joe. And I think PG's going to buy into the new system. I can't wait to see it. I'm feeling good. I'm going to keep moving forward. Let's go Sixers and have a great show. And thanks for taking my call, guys.
All right, Damon.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, the ball movement was, you just mentioned it, it was stagnant. And it wasn't just because of the isolation they were trying to do. And I think they did feel the pressure. But there was just a lot of standing around. So if you are, this is simple basketball terms, right? I'm dribbling the ball up. John's next to me. John sees me dribbling, sees some guys over there. If you stay next to me, that's not beneficial to me at all, because now I've got a couple humans on me, and I'd like for you. So you would see that. You saw people just standing there, like in the dunker spot or in the out there on the wing. I can't see you because now I've got trees in front of me. Like, move around so I can find you.
Settling for end of shot clock jumpers.
Yeah.
You had said, drive to the basket. Draw some contact. Get to the foul line. If you insist on doing this isolation.
There you go. Get something
drive to
going.
the basket and get something going. Man, they couldn't get a bucket going. All right. Coming up, we'll empty out the text line on the 76ers. The phone callers will get to you as well. 610-632-0975. Also, feedback. Final segment of the program. 975 feedback at 975thefanatic.com. People are welcome to go on YouTube and see how handsome I am with the beard. And Ray's still a handsome fella.
There you go.
Yeah, I actually got some support on the YouTube chat. It took a few days, is what it was.
You need to get used to it.
It's jarring. It was jarring for me. I was scared Saturday morning. I forgot that Friday night I shaved to the mustache. I woke up, I walked into the bathroom, I looked in the mirror, and I was like, where the hell's that guy in my... that's me.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Somebody
Terrifying.
wasn't sleeping on your sofa. That was you. Or in bed with you. No, it was there. 610-632-0975. You can also text the text line. And if you want to be featured in feedback, final segment of the program, just put feedback and your name and location. So put your name and location with the text anyway, so we know who we're talking to. It'd be nice. So take the extra time to do it. That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks. Matt Cord in studio. So he's going to be in studio tomorrow with us. Tomorrow at 10:30, we have these really. So it's just a really cool experience. It's Drexel Penn tickets that we're getting. We have 3 pair to give away, and you get to watch it with Matt. And is it in the? Is it
It's
in
at the DAC.
It's at the DAC.
I'm
99.9.
99.9.
It is at the DAC. No, it's
At the
100,
DAC.
It's
Okay,
100% at the DAC. So if you've never experienced college basketball, and if you've never been to the Palestra, go get tickets to any game at the Palestra. I mean,
What are you doing?
it's the best thing ever.
DAC is a nice arena, though.
The DAC's
They redid
awesome.
it. They redid it.
Yeah, I've been to Drexel games before, and a Penn Drexel game, the Battle of West Philly or whatever they call it.
33rd.
Yeah, that would be.
Middle of 33rd.
That's an awesome.
So I
experience.
get to talk to those coaches a lot because I do some stuff with the Coaches versus Cancer and the American Cancer Society. I love when they all give each other grief about because they all play each other, whatever,
Right.
and they'll all give like, oh, I can't believe we have to go to the DAC this year. Like McCaffrey talking about that. I was like, yeah, woo, you got to walk a whole block and a half. They always used to do that. I remember when Jerome Allen was there, Bruiser would be like, we never got Jerome, and then they never came down to our building. I'm like, you get to go play in the Palestra. It's a block and a half away. But they always would talk about that, the Drexel Penn. Like it was just, oh, you got to come to our house. It's right next door, literally.
I'm old enough to when I graduated from high school, Malik Rose was still at Drexel, and they had a tournament team with Malik. And even though Malik's probably not even 6'6", but he plays much bigger. So,
yeah, I think people think that he's like a forward.
Yeah, I mean he was, but and he had a good NBA career too. He was a champion.
I think
but
people think he's like 6'9", 6'10".
he is not. But I remember him being on campus, and because the Drexel team was good.
Yeah.
And him being on campus and seeing him around and thinking it was the coolest thing ever was like, Malik Rose.
There he is.
Yeah. So I was, unfortunately, Ray, college basketball in this town isn't what it once was because the teams just frankly haven't been as good.
Yeah, they got to be better.
Still a storied city for college basketball.
Yeah. I'll say this, and you might not hear me say this a lot. I'll give Nova credit. They looked good the other night against the BYU team that's supposed to be one of the best teams in the country.
That's a very good BYU team. Very good. Legitimately top 10, has the number 1 overall pick. That's a good team.
I don't know if they've got the difference maker to get themselves over the top of the Big East this year, but it should be a more enjoyable watch, I think, for Nova.
I am a Big 5 fan over a specific team, even though I went to Temple, but I went to Temple. I'm not like the Temple fans that are, oh my God, I hate St. Joe's. No, I root for all the Big 5.
I think that's what I like about the way they kind of reformatted that Big 5 is that you should be able to go down and watch the entire day and enjoy like basketball start to finish. Yeah, you want your team to win, but it's nice. It would be nice to have, in talking to the coaches, they know the pressure. They want to get back. They want to have a Philadelphia team in the tournament.
Sure.
We went 40 years where there was always one, and then it was like, oh, wait, what's going on now? And I think we didn't appreciate maybe how that run was.
Oh, my.
How much fun that was. There was always a Philly team in there. Whether you liked the team or not, it was nice to have a team that you could at least like kind of, hang your hat on.
I was raised on Raleigh Massimino winning a national champion, and then John Chaney and those great Temple teams for years.
Constantly going to the tournament and making serious noise in the tournament. And it's just, there was some great runs in that. And to have that dearth right now, it's not been fun. But I feel like that there's going to be at least one, if not 2 tournament teams. College basketball is just so different now than it used to be.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, you see the Kentucky hoodie that
we had a big win last night over Nicholls State.
Nice.
Not really. I mean, it was. So there was a really good dunk in it. Is that something you're interested in?
We're number 1, right? Of the top 10, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Where I went to school in Hawaii Pacific University beat Boise State 2 nights ago.
Oh, that's a win
that's
right
a
there.
good win.
That's
it's like
W.
It's like Chaminade over who did they beat back in the day?
Oh, they did.
Virginia or somebody. It was a major.
It was like
upset.
in like the one of like I think there was the
tournaments. It was the Hawaii tour, not the Maui Invitational.
But it might have been the Maui Invitational.
Yeah, it might have been the Maui Invitational.
Yeah,
which I saw.
Did you?
At the Lahaina,
that was always like a.
It's a high school gym essentially, the Lahaina Civic Center, which I don't know if it got damaged in the fire, but anyway, there you go. That's our college basketball segment. And so Matt's going to be in tomorrow. And we have 3 pairs of tickets to give away for the experience with him at the DAC. This is going to be cool. All right, let's empty the text line, and then we'll take a phone call or 2 there. Randy.
All right, we got Webster from Lancaster here. When Joel was your top player, you catered everything to his strengths. Maxey is clearly your best player now, so if you follow the same philosophy, you should cater to his strengths. His strengths are up-tempo, in rhythm, being shifty, etc. Not a half-court, slow-the-pace offense. He is a much better shooter when he is in rhythm as opposed to being slowed down in a half-court set.
Yeah, I to be fair, you need to give them time to try to figure out the formula to use Joel's strengths and the minutes and when you put him in and when you take him out. You're not going to be able to just do that overnight. You're going to actually need to put it in the process and play it.
You can't use that word.
He just looks cooked defensively.
Yeah, so that's for me. It's one of those things, and we were just talking. I get what he says when he says he wants to be. If he's going to be out in the minutes restriction, and you want to do it, divvy it up. He wants longer stretches so he can get in rhythm. My issue with that is that we were just talking about you play the beginning of the third, you don't play the end of the third, you don't play the beginning of the fourth. I would rather, if you're in that mode, give me 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 3 minutes on,
Right.
3 minutes off.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to work. I think physically, I don't know if that's better or worse. They need to, when we're talking about what the formula is going to be, you need the formula for the minutes in addition to trying to work the offense around. I think the offense will come when the minutes come. You're only seeing these glimpses for 5.5, 6 minutes of what it could look like or what you're maybe trying to do. Half of those times you don't even have the ball. So it's like, what are we doing as far as trying to get the offense looking like it should when you only have about 3 minutes to do it?
And to that point, he comes in for 3 minutes. Now you almost have to get him his touches because he's in for 3 minutes.
Right.
So again, it disrupts any type of flow you have with the game.
Capitalize.
What else do we have on the text line, Ray?
We got Rick in South Philly. Nick Nurse didn't adjust the adjustments of Billy Donovan. I watched the entire game. Second half, they threw different looks at Maxey, wore him down. He was tired. Oubre played well, but Nurse didn't push any offensive sets his way. Once he saw Grimes was struggling, Maxey was winded late, and the rookie looked kind of like a rookie last night. Embiid played okay in the first half, but they lost lead while he was on the bench. That's not his fault. However, he did take a bunch of bad jumpers and fadeaways once he got in the fourth quarter. Offense stopped moving. Grimes, Edgecombe, and Maxey looked to get Embiid the ball every possession once they lost the lead. I 90% put that on Nurse.
What was the postgame crew saying about Nick Nurse in the second half last night?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the one thing on there is that they put Trey Jones had a much better defensive effort on Tyrese Maxey, and he was frustrated. And it did look like it wore down Tyrese Maxey, which is a sentence that I am not used to saying, nor do I think I'll ever say it again. Here's a guy that does lead the league in minutes in the NBA. It's usually fine with him in the way that he runs and the motor, but it can still be frustrating when you're having to run all over the place and then you're settling for a bad shot. I think you saw that frustration in that. That was a really tough shot. I don't know in what world does that make sense?
When he took it, it didn't look like it had a chance.
11 seconds left in the shot clock. You're 28 feet away, and I thought, what? No, I don't. So I think it's hard to say it's on Nurse given the fact that we're asking him to do something that I don't know is possible right now. You're trying to find the formula for a guy that doesn't necessarily fit the exact formula, but you know he's very good, and you're trying to do it in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So I think it's a tall task. I think that there were some failures as far as Nick Nurse said it. We heard it in the clip earlier. Defensively, we didn't do anything. They did everything. Offensively, we didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. And today Nick Nurse is going to say that is on him because if you see your team struggling, then you need to maybe take a timeout and call some sets, something, just to try to change it up.
All right, let's go to my buddy JB in Chestnut Hill. JB, what's up, man? Go ahead.
Yo, Johnny Marks. How you been, pal?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I am fantastic now. Delaware Valley is a better place with you back on the air.
Thank you, JB.
I think when it comes to the Shack, that's exactly where my analogy is going. With Embiid, they gotta. I mean, it seems pretty simple to me. If you harken back to the 06 Heat team, where they used him, they sprinkled him in the first, they sprinkled him in the second, and then if they needed him down the stretch, he would go in and get breaks. This team's not like you were just talking about having, him and PG on the court together. The only way that works is if it's a half-court game at Vogue Playground. There's no way that those two can be on the court together.
Yeah. I mean, so essentially you're taking Embiid off the court late in the fourth quarter, and maybe you're bringing him in for offense, you're bringing him in for defense. I agree. Every coach is going to try to counter what you're doing if Embiid's on the floor defensively.
100%.
Yeah.
Offensively,
why wouldn't
sure.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to do that. This weekend, I think, is interesting matchup on Monday. The 3-point dog thing's gets you a little bit worried, just considering Green Bay just
coming off a loss
game to Carolina. I mean, I don't know, the Jair Alexander thing going home, and the irony of them both, him and Phillips both being 18th overall pick is kind of weird. They're both number 1, 18th overall pick. A little weird sideshow for you for that.
It's the Jair. Thanks, JB. The Jair Alexander revenge game.
Jair Alexander's revenge game is just getting on the field when he was sitting there in Baltimore thinking like, what am I doing here?
The actual revenge game would be if they played the Ravens.
Yeah,
so
he'd be like, hey, thanks a lot. You know, the Packers knew he was good. The Ravens had him and didn't use him.
Coming up, we'll continue the Sixers conversation, but Todd Zalecki's going to join us at about 11:10 as we look towards the Phillies. 4 p.m. tomorrow is when you can officially sign free agents. Bader is not coming back on the mutual option, so there's a lot going on with the Phillies. We'll bring that into the conversation coming up next. Prospective free agents for the Phils. Who's coming back? Is he sure that Kyle Schwarber's coming back? Todd Zalecki coming up at 11:10. Your thoughts on that as well coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks post-deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock with the Eagles having made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. Roseman addressed the media following the deadline where he acquired Michael Carter and Jair Alexander for the defensive backfield and also got Jalen Phillips as an edge rusher for that room. Roseman talked about the philosophy looking towards the trade deadline.
I think it first starts with an overall philosophy that we could upgrade every spot. With that mentality, looking for any edges. So if there's incremental difference in a player, we owe it to our team, to our fans, to our building, to our owner to do that.
Now, what's next for the Birds? A Monday night matchup with the Packers in Green Bay. Next Monday, coming out of the bye, they'll return to the practice field tomorrow. The 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls. Last night blew a 24-point lead and lost that lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey had 39 points in the loss. They're back in action tonight against the Cavs at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. Flyers won 5-4 last night, a shootout win for them over the Canadians. Bobby Rink had 2 goals in the win. Coming up at 11:10, it'll be Todd Zalecki joining us to talk about the Phillies offseason ahead of free agency opening tomorrow in Major League Baseball. This update's brought to you by Mattress Firm. Score huge deals and better sleep at Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale. Their sleep experts will find the perfect bed for your unique needs. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
left over?
I want you to.
Jock jams?
Everybody. This actually wasn't put in to play as a return. What were we doing last week? Oh, the kicker. Did you see the kicker from what school was it?
Oklahoma.
The Oklahoma kicker had Daisy Dukes on.
Yes.
Did you see it?
No.
You have to Google it. I didn't realize in football you didn't have to wear pants. This kicker.
You have to wear pants, just not all the way down to.
He wore shorts.
I was like, yeah.
He was wearing spandex shorts.
That is uncomfortable. Or maybe very comfortable.
And Kurt, I can't imagine it was comfortable. Kirk Herbstreit couldn't get over it. He was just ripping him the entire time. So I played it I had put it in the system for that because he was calling him Daisy Dukes. I still can't believe it. Now, yeah, look at Amy's reaction.
I'm sorry. The first thing I see, Oklahoma kicker Tate Sandell shows off his hot legs and short shorts.
Where's that headline from?
I don't know. It's the very first thing that
Did you
comes
see the
up.
picture though?
I'm clicking on it now.
Ray was saying he had a nice ass, and I'm like, listen, I didn't notice that.
Yep, that was definitely me.
So he just hiked up his. Oh, he did. He just hiked up his.
Is
his
it they
pants.
hiked up or did he cut them?
I don't know.
I'm just
I
surprised
think
you
they're
can.
folded up.
I'm just surprised you can actually wear them like that. I've never seen anybody
It
wear.
looks very strange.
Yeah, to say the least.
Sorry, that looks very strange.
It's odd. It's a very odd look.
But that was the Herbstreit game, so that's the national game of the week.
Better.
And Herbie couldn't believe it.
It was a little too much in terms of being anti
It was way too much.
Well, that's just a typical
He could have moved on.
Kickers don't play football type of jock mentality.
It was a macho.
Yeah, there's a lot of football guys that are like that. I'm sure McAfee would be fine with it.
I feel like it's
Not
more
that's
like,
your bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, Amy.
I feel like that's more what it is. It's back when I played, it was a bunch
Back
of
in
tough
my
guys.
day.
Right.
Now it's guys out here in shorts.
All right, let's get him concussed to get out there and kick a field goal. Back when
Yeah,
I was
he
Somebody
wanted,
roughed that
he wanted
kicker
a
up.
penalty because he hated his short shirt. I think they're like, I don't know.
Dude, it's like, come on. All right, Philly's talking in a second. I'm going to get Sean in West Philly in here. Sean, go ahead on the Sixers. What's up?
How you doing today?
What up, Sean?
All right, yeah. So, do MB, I'm going to start calling him the scarecrow because they're like, do we got a brain inside of his head? Like, why did this man, well, first of all, we deal with this every year for the last 7 years where this man trying to back up like he a guard, trying to dribble the ball in the lane, shooting. I mean, the step-back three-pointer by a 7-foot man doesn't make any sense to me at all. Nobody can explain that to me. Why is this man doing that? And then Grimes, like, he turned the ball over left and right. It's like, with gambling involved and all that, they keep saying it ain't. Like, my dad told me to stop thinking about that. But it's hard to not think about it when you are watching a basketball game and you seeing turnovers. Like the color of the jersey is the color of the jersey. Why are you going to the other team? So I just don't get it. But I just had to vent that out. But go Birds, and that's all I got to say.
Go
All right,
Birds.
go Birds.
Yeah, Grimes was horrible last night, and he's been great.
And the shot that he was talking about, I will defend Embiid on that one shot because it was literally Grimes had an opportunity to drive. He comes all the way back to the top of the key and looks next to him and says, I don't want this. You
All
take
right,
it.
Joel, you have 2 seconds.
One-legged fadeaway three-pointer with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. But there was a couple times earlier when he was in that, usually a sweet spot for him.
Yep.
With that little fadeaway, 10, 12-footer, that's usually a sweet spot. Joel makes that
He was
9
missing
times
it.
out of 10.
Yep.
He missed 3 of them. One of them was a turnover.
All right, Zalecki joins us coming up at 11:10. MLB free agency, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Yesterday, Harrison Bader declined the $10 million option. How about this deal? He gets to decline the option, and he still gets a $3 million buyout from the Phillies. I need to get his agent.
It's amazing.
Right. It's unbelievable.
It's a great deal.
It is a great deal.
So I think everybody expected him to opt out.
Yeah.
It's a matter of where the Phillies going to be willing to meet whatever money he gets in free agency. And you know the thing that I hate about this, Amy? This isn't NFL tampering period, everybody signs. This is going to go into February
Yeah.
with this.
It's a free-for-all for as long as you want it to go on. And it's not this like window of like, hey, you've got a couple of hours, you've got a couple of days. It is, you've got months of all these teams, wheeling and dealing and moving pieces around. So you really don't know anything until the spring training or owners meetings, you start to get a little bit more awareness about what's going to happen.
And Boris, who always tries to drive the market,
Yep.
he just waits and waits and waits.
As he should.
And a lot of times, a couple times, it's hurt his players. But so does Schwarber get signed sooner than later? Here are some projections for Kyle Schwarber. Jim Bowden, the former GM, MLB GM, has 5 for. I saw him put between 150 and 170. So we'll meet in the middle. $32 million a year for Kyle Schwarber. 5 for 160. Your thoughts, Amy?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. That's a big number. That's a lot of years. That's a big number. But I don't want to live in a world where Kyle Schwarber's not wearing a Phillies uniform.
How about this? John Middleton's not allowing Kyle Schwarber to leave. If he leaves, it's because he wants to go somewhere else.
Right.
Or
he's made the decision that he wants to go to Cincinnati to be closer to where he grew up or something.
I don't think Middleton's getting outbid for Kyle Schwarber.
I just think whatever the number is, he's going to look at Kyle and be like, yeah, sure.
What are you going to do?
You're going to sign him is what you're going to do.
You're going to sign him.
Yeah, you're going to sign him.
I'm seeing JT possibly 3 years, maybe 45. It's going to be 2 or 3 years. I don't think anybody's giving him a 4th year, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't get 3 years. Do you? If he gets a 3 year,
I would think you would try to do 2, but if I'm JT, I'm going to try to hold out for 3, and I think he'll get it.
He's going to leverage it because there's teams that need.
They need reliable catcher.
Yeah.
Listen, we all just watched the postseason, and if you don't have a good catcher back there, it makes a big difference. And JT did have a better offensive effort in the second half of the season. So let's kind of put the emphasis on that. But the most important part is your pitchers, they love him. And defensively, he's solid. Right? He can throw out the guy at second. He knows how to call the game. It's a very, very important position out there, and you just don't want to mess it up. And I don't think that you are ready to hand the reins over to Rafael Marchand. So what are your other options?
There is none. No, JT's coming back. I'm not.
And he knows that, so he has all the leverage.
If someone was, no one's going to offer him 5 years, but outside of that, he's coming back.
Right.
His market's going to be his market.
4 years even.
Right. I agree. All right. So here's the one, and I just want to offer congratulations to all you fake Aaron Nola fans that afterwards bailed on Aaron Nola when he was terrible last year. Ranger Suarez is going to be gone, and it's because they signed Aaron Nola that the Phillies aren't going to be able to afford Ranger Suarez. I saw 5 or 6 years at $164 million for Ranger Suarez. I would be shocked if he got that much. Amy looked like I just knocked her out.
I blacked out for a
164. I'd be shocked if he got that. And you know what team apparently is hot on his trail?
Who?
I'm not going to be able to handle this very well.
If it's the Mets, I'm going to leave.
The Mets.
That's it. I'm out.
No, but think about it. If you're a team that's a playoff team or a team like the Mets last year that
I can't handle
underachieved. You're looking ahead. You're looking regular season, of course, but you're looking, who do I want in the playoffs? We need a starter. Who do I want in the playoffs? Ranger Suarez.
I mean, pitches well. When he finds, his spots, you can't hit him. Cool as a cucumber for a postseason pitcher. That's exactly what. Oh, and he has the fun fact of being able to pitch out of the bullpen if you really need that option somewhere down the pike.
Rob Thompson didn't get that memo, unfortunately.
I saw him sitting in the bullpen in Game 2. He never left the bullpen in Game 2. Yeah, I would. I'm going to sound like John Mara. I'm going to have a tough time sleeping if Ranger Suarez is wearing a Mets uniform.
John Middleton may not be able. They're not going to be able to pay him, not with the pitchers you have.
But that's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
Right, Steve Cohen, introductory press conference introducing Ranger Suarez. See, here's what I'm going to say to Ranger: don't do it. Don't do it. Can another team please offer as many years and as much money? Don't go to the Mets. I won't be able to handle it.
This is very, very bad.
No, don't do it. I can't yell at them to take less money in less years. I have to be realistic at it. I don't want to root against Ranger Suarez. It's one of my favorite Phillies. The Mets.
You ever feel like nothing good was ever going to happen to you?
6 for 164. So Zalecki's coming up next. All of this with Todd Zalecki and his opinion on Dave Dombrowski and why he is making his comments on Bryce Harper like he did. I haven't talked to Zoe since then. Todd Zalecki, MLB.com, longtime Phillies reporter, coming up next. Middays with Marks. Marks, Amy Fadul in the co-hosting chair today. Ray Dunn. The whole team is here. Dutsy, Nate Dogg in the back. And joining us right now, he's a busy man. Because you know what he is now, Amy Fadul? He's a content creator.
Oh, he is a content creator.
The Phillies show, the podcast he has with Jim Salisbury and Ruben Amaro, they're doing episodes left and right. I can't even...
They're churning out content.
I've been listening to it. Todd Zalecki, longtime Phillies
Visual
reporter.
Content too.
They're doing a great job. Joins us right now. What's up, Zozone?
How's it going, guys?
Hi, Todd.
Good morning.
I'm there. I'm here. Hey.
Hey, are you in the basement? You know he has this baseball card room that he does his Zooms from?
I watch.
Are you in the baseball card room?
I am not, no, because I have zero reception down there. It is literally, I'm literally in the basement.
Cave.
All right, so first thing before we talk about free agency, because I haven't talked to you since then, what was your read and what was your reaction to Dave Dombrowski and the comments about Bryce Harper? I thought it was incredibly careless and unproductive to start talking about him being elite and everything else that went with that conversation. Do you think it was calculated like some people think, or was that just Dave talking off the cuff? Because what he said, there was really like nothing wrong with what he said, but it's just not normally something an executive talks about.
Yeah, I think he was being especially candid, surprisingly so, I guess you could say. You usually don't have a GM or a president of baseball ops or anybody in that position be as honest as he was. My opinion is that these are probably things that they've wondered aloud in meetings about Bryce and his season and, you know, kind of where he's going to be moving forward. And in that moment, he opined that, hey, you know what, I don't know if he's still going to be elite or not. You know, he wasn't elite this year. Not really sure what he's going to be next year and in the future, but, you know, I guess we'll find out. And that's honestly what I thought it was. You know, maybe if he had a do-over, Dave wouldn't be so candid. He could, you know, because he easily could have said, yeah, by Bryce's standards, he did not have an elite season. But we have no doubt he's going to get back to that level last year. Don't forget, he had a wrist injury the first half of the season that cost him a month and affected his play the first several weeks of the year. So, but he didn't say that for whatever. What I don't believe, John, is that has anything to do with the lack of a contract extension or him trying to like make Bryce upset to force a trade. I don't think it was anything involving a contract extension dispute or anything like that. I think it was just Dave being really, really surprisingly honest. And it kind of blew up and became a thing to the point where, you know, Scott Boras talked about it, and obviously Bryce talked with Matt Gelb at The Athletic about it.
Yeah, I think it was more like you said, Todd, it was like that stream of conscious where they were like, yeah, you know, it wasn't a great year for him by his standards, but he didn't say that extra part out, so it would have been fine. I think people probably wouldn't have really been eyebrow raising if he had said it the way that you said. Well, listen, he's coming back from the injury, and we were asking him to do a lot and whatever else. But it wasn't a good season by Bryce Harper standards. I think Bryce Harper would say that, but Bryce Harper didn't get to say that because he just had to respond to what Dave Dombrowski said, which I think – is there any thought in your mind that relationship now has changed because of these kind of slip-of-the-tongue, stream-of-conscious moments?
You know, I don't know. I guess we'll find out as this kind of moves forward. I don't think so. I think eventually they'll patch things up. And you know, listen, Bryce wants to be in Philly. Bryce wants to win. Dave Dombrowski wants to win another World Series. You know what can make this all go away? Dave Dombrowski has a really good offseason. He re-signs Kyle Schwarber. He re-signs JT Realmuto. And he maybe finds a big bat to hit behind Bryce Harper in the lineup. I think that would make all of this uncomfortable awkwardness, all these uncomfortable comments and speculation go away. And that's kind of what Scott Boras said. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said, yeah, you know, I wish Dave would have mentioned the wrist injury. I don't know why he didn't mention the wrist injury. And then he talked about, you know, hey, if you want Bryce to be elite, how about get him a big bat to protect him in the lineup? And honestly, I think there's a lot of truth to that. Mm-hmm. They got to get him some help and get this team really does need a legit cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Talking to Todd Zalecki, there's so much to talk about, so let's get right to the big meaty issues. Kyle Schwarber, the projections I've seen, Todd, are some are saying 5 years, $160 million. I've seen 4 years. Ultimately, I don't believe there's any way that they're allowing him to leave. John Middleton is not going to be outbid unless Kyle wants to leave, which I don't have any indication that he wants to. But how many years do you think this gets to, and do you think that there's any way the Phillies let him walk?
I don't think there's any way that they let him. Well, I shouldn't say that. If somebody goes just absolutely crazy and offers him just a massive, massive deal, then at that point maybe the Phillies walk away and they turn their attention to somebody like Pete Alonso. But John Middleton listens to his customers. He listens to Phillies fans. He listens to the front office, and they all want him back. And so you have players that want him back, teammates that want him back, the manager wants him back, the front office wants him back, the owner wants him back. They all see the value there. And so, yeah, I could see a 5-year deal, 5 years, $30 million a year, $150 million for Kyle Schwarber, because I think they all look at him and they say, all right, he's got this elite bat speed. He hits the ball hard. He's DHing, so there's not going to be much wear and tear in his body. I think they all believe that he's going to hold up. And so, and they also see what kind of just tremendous value he brings in the clubhouse. And I know it's impossible to kind of quantify, but I've said this and I believe it. He's the best leader in the Phillies clubhouse that I have seen since I've started covering this team. He's just absolutely incredible the way he kind of keeps the team together and just kind of leads by example, leads vocally, all that stuff. And so he's kind of the total package. And so I do think that they are going to re-sign him. Unless, again, like the Red Sox go, you know what, we're going to give you 7 years, $210
Which isn't
million.
likely, yeah.
Which isn't likely.
And also, don't forget about the box office. They're going to sell seats. The reason they can have this, the reason they can have this payroll is because a lot of people come and watch the Phillies play, and Kyle Schwarber's kind of your main attraction right now.
Yeah, I mean, the guy hits tons of home runs. He's a lot of fun to watch, and not only does he hit home runs, he hits these majestic blasts, and so there's a lot of reasons to bring him back. And you're right. You don't re-sign Kyle Schwarber. Well, you better spend that money somewhere to fill those holes because you need to make up for the production and you need to make up for the fact that fans want to come and watch him play.
When you look at their wish list, and it's going to be longer than I think people probably consider when you really look at what they actually need and are going to have to go out and get, what would your top 2 positions be on that wish list?
Well, certainly, big bat, so that's Kyle Schwarber, but I also think it has to be catcher. They have to bring back JT, and if they don't bring back JT, you really need to figure out what you're going to do there, because JT, I know he had really his worst year offensively since his rookie year, but he is like same thing. The intangibles of him, the way he runs the game, the pitchers love throwing to him. He's also a great leader in that clubhouse. Lead by example guy. So catcher for sure. I also think that they just need to find another right-handed bat, a legit right-handed bat. If Pete Alonso comes to mind, I don't know if they could swing Schwarber, Alonso, and Real Muto. Probably not, but they have to find a way to add another competent right-handed bat there because the Phillies cleanup hitters this season, I think they had like a combined 720 OPS or something. It was 20th in baseball of all leadoff cleanup hitters on all teams in Major League Baseball. They need to be much better at that. And then you look back at who they were hitting cleanup this past season. It was Alec Boehm. It was Nick Castellanos. It was JT Realmuto. They need to put somebody in there that can go out, hit at least 20 home runs with 100 RBIs. With those guys getting on base in front, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, if that's how Rob Thompson wants the lineup set his lineup again next year, that's a ton of guys on base, a lot. You almost should have a guy that rolls out of bed and knocks in 100 runs. And Alec Boehm, if Alec Boehm is back, he's probably ideally more of a 6-hole hitter than he is a cleanup hitter. So that I think that needs to be a priority for this team.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're talking about Bryce Harper, how about protecting him? You had mentioned it earlier. I mean, when you look at some of the advanced analytics, Bryce Harper saw less strikes this past season than he ever has before. He was swinging at first pitches more than he ever has before in his you know why? Because he
had to.
Yeah, he had to, and he's not seeing the strikes because they're not worried about Bohm hitting behind him. So yeah, Todd, I just don't know how you do it with like you talk about Alonso. Where the hell's he playing? Right, like Kyle Schwarber. Right. Part of the problem with Kyle Schwarber is he's your DH, so you can't even finagle that position at all.
Correct. Now, the one thing that Bryce talked about this last spring, and he talked. I remember talking to him about it again right before the deadline when Eugenio Suarez was available in Arizona. He said, for the right guy, for the right bat, I would move back out into the outfield. Now, he also said, I like first base. I want to play there long term. So I don't know if it still applies if the Phillies said, hey, we can go out and get this guy, but it's going to have to force you to move back to the outfield. I don't know if he would be willing to do that. So you're right. I mean, I don't know if Alonso fits, but there's other guys out there that they could potentially sign or get via trade.
Yeah.
Exactly. That I think they need to do. I think they need to get to give him more protection. You know, and Bryce has said, he has actually said this, though. He's like, it doesn't matter who's hitting behind me. I'm still not going to get pitches to hit.
Right.
But he did chase more pitches this past season, and I think it's because he felt, I've got to get this done because I don't know subconsciously if the guys behind me are going to do it. But if he does have a legit bat hitting behind him, maybe he shows a little bit more patience. Maybe he walks a little bit more, and maybe he instead of falling in an early 0-1, 0-2 situation, maybe he takes a pitch outside for a ball, and then he gets into a hitter's count, and then he does more damage that way.
That's Todd Zielecki, a longtime Phillies reporter, MLB.com. The Phillies Show, great podcast with Ruben and Jim Salisbury. You guys are putting out content. I listened to the last two episodes that you had out. So a couple quick hitters. You mentioned JT. To me, it's whether he gets 3 or 4 years. There's no way they're letting JT walk. So I think I think everybody's hoping 2. But I would, if I had to guess, I'm saying 3.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of teams that, I shouldn't say a ton of teams. I think there's a team out there that is so desperate for catching. So the rest of the free agent catching is so bad that somebody's going to offer him 3. So I think the Phillies are almost going to have to give him 3. I saw one projection in the Athletic the other day. It said like 3 years, 45. Yeah, right. Salvador Perez just signed in. Yeah, Salvador Perez just signed an extension with the Royals. I think it was 2 years, 25. That's $12.5 million. So, maybe you have to go a little bit more than that to get JT, lock him in.
Who's your center fielder? Harrison Bader declines the $10 million option. He's the guy I could see the Phillies saying, we're not giving you 3 years. We're not giving you $45 million. Is an injury history to him. We saw that actually come up in the playoffs when he couldn't play. But how do you think the Bader? They need a right-handed bat in the outfield, Todd.
They do need a right-handed bat in the outfield. Yeah, that is to me very, very fascinating because he had basically had a career year at 31. You look back at his previous 3 years, he was a below-average offensive player, and I know Phillies fans love him because he was awesome those last 2 months of the season. But injury history, he's bounced around to a lot of teams. He's been an below-average offensive performer the 3 previous years. So all of a sudden, if Harrison Bader's like, "Hey, man, I want a 3-year deal." That would give me some serious pause.
Yeah.
That would give me some real serious pause. And I do think there are enough other right-handed outfield bats that could be available that you could go out there. So it might be a corner bat. That's fine. Then maybe you have Brandon Marsh or Justin Crawford play center field. So I do think that they have some options there.
There it is. I was waiting. Wait, how are we this far in? And you just mentioned some of the guys down on the farm. Todd, let's go. Justin Crawford was the most popular name in July. What are the chances, though, realistically, that we do see Justin Crawford up with the big club?
I think there's a very good chance. Yeah. I think he goes into camp. I don't want to say with a job, it's his job to lose, but Dave did in one of his other moments of candor in that press conference last month. He said, "Well, Max Kepler, we can say he won't be back because we have Justin Crawford." And he said a couple other times, Justin Crawford's the guy we expect to contribute. He's got nothing left to prove in AAA.
Right.
Nothing left to prove in AAA. So I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet you, Amy, like $100 he makes the opening day roster, I would feel really good about that $100 bet if you would bet against it.
He's your left fielder with no power. He's your corner outfielder with no power, is what you're getting.
Or he could play center field. Bader's not back, and then they go get a bigger right-handed bat to play one of the corner spots. Because I don't think Castellanos is going to be back. So they have a lot of flexibility there in terms of what they could do.
All right,
got to get a little pop out there. Crawford will hit above average.
Yeah, he can be a good player.
Speed on the base paths, no doubt about it. Plays a nice outfield, but
they need an impact bat. All right, last thing. I'm seeing Ranger Suarez is getting 5 or 6 years. We know it's not going to be with the Phillies. I just hope it's not with the Mets. Do you think I thought Ranger was maybe a 4-year, $110 million guy. 6 years, 164 is what I think I saw Bowden put out there. Are they crazy?
Well, you know what? This is funny now. The way that a lot of teams are watching what the Dodgers did, right? They kind of controlled the innings of all their guys, and then they were just awesome in the postseason.
Yeah.
That is legitimately what Ranger Suarez does every year. 150 innings, doesn't really give you 30, 32 starts. But then in the postseason, he is absolutely lights out. So I think Scott Boras is his agent. That is going to be his pitch. If you're the Mets, I'm going, and I'm David Stearns, and I'm saying, well, Ranger he can't give me 200 innings, 30 starts a year. I go, look what the Dodgers did.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Look at what the Dodgers did. How about this?
How
about you take a guy that, absolutely. How about you take Ranger Suarez as 150 innings, you fill the other 50 innings somehow, and then you have a guy that has literally like the 8th lowest ERA in postseason history of anybody with like 40 or more innings pitched. Does that sound pretty good for you? Do you think you could use that in the postseason, David Stearns? And he's going to go, yeah, maybe you're right. Then you call Steve Cohen, you go, listen, he's not going to give us 200 innings, but he is going to show up in the postseason, and he's going to be off the Phillies roster. So, yeah, I think it could be the Mets. I think there's a lot of teams that would be willing to pay him that type of money.
That second part, too. He would be off the Phillies roster.
Yep.
That's very enticing.
Todd Zalecki, content creator.
Good stuff, Todd.
Unbelievable stuff. I'm sure you're going to be doing a new show soon. So enjoying what you're doing, Todd, and appreciate
good
a
stuff.
couple.
Really good stuff.
Thanks, guys. Had fun. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, thanks a lot, Todd.
Honestly, that pitch is perfect because that's exactly what the pitch is. And why wouldn't you?
Don't you wish that you could do that to the Mets? Take this pitcher that you love that came up through your farm system that has stones. You can bring him in any role in the playoffs.
I mean, if I'm the Mets, that's one, he's not a Philly. That's a huge boon for you. And then the fact, of course, the Mets have to get there to the postseason. They had some issues with that, but I don't think that they'll have an issue going forward. I feel like
well, you want to get back to the postseason. Why not steal one of the Phillies' best pitchers?
Well, then we'll just think the Pete Alonso then can come on over.
Now, Ray, can they trade Aaron Nola to the Mets? Any indication they would like him?
All right, here's what you get, guys. If you remember the year 2018, he was third in the Cy Young voting that year. If you just look at that,
squint,
and honestly, just forget last season. What does last season even mean to you? He's been a consistent arm out there for 30 starts a season.
That's very true.
Look at all the injuries you had in your starting rotation. This is a guy, again, forgetting last year, been very healthy. He's going to be healthy again. We're going to send him to the Taiwan Walker School of figuring out how to pitch again. And we're going to give you to him. You just eat all the money. We'll take back, I don't know, a prospect you don't care about. It'll be great. Stevie, you got enough money, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is like chump change to you. Just take the rest of the Nola contract. He's all yours.
Fine line.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Awesome. Just go somewhere. Can the Dodgers want? No, don't send them to L.A.
Oh, I think, to me, Rangers screams Dodgers.
I know.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they have more money to spend.
They have
print
unlimited money. It doesn't matter.
Unlimited money. Gosh, baseball's going to look different in 2027.
But here's the thing with Suarez, because Todd mentioned he's a Boras. He fired his agent, and he hired Boras for this.
I had forgotten that when he said that. I was like, oh, no.
So, because with Boras clients, they're, for the most part, they're trying to get the biggest contract. They don't really care where they're going. Does Ranger seem like a guy that's going to go to a team that doesn't have a chance to win now? You know, like, is he going to the highest bidder?
No, I don't think he's a guy that's all of a sudden just going to be like, hey, I'm going to go. Well, of course, if you're the highest bidder, you probably are a team in contention.
I'm trying to think of a team that
would qualify that.
That he's just going for the paycheck. I mean, the Giants aren't that far off.
Right, that's the thing. I mean, like, all these teams that pay a lot, they're all kind of – the Mets didn't make the playoffs. Astros didn't make the playoffs. Those were all high
Red Sox?
They
did make the playoffs.
They
could
but
sure
barely.
use them.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
He could pitch up there.
That would be interesting. He could pitch up there. I mean, honestly,
Be a good spot for him.
Pitch anywhere, but
No,
Dodgers, I don't like that. I mean, they certainly need.
For the record, I know that he's not coming back, and if
he goes to an American League team, I'll
and like I can live with that. I can't live with the Mets. I cannot live with the Mets. Do Red Sox match any offer for him? Oh my God, that would be something.
Well, the Blue Jays need him.
Maybe
they need a little bit of help, huh?
Oh, talk about a bad loss, an all-time
saw
bad
Scott
loss,
Hartnell
man.
the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry about your Canadian baseball team. He's like, I'm still not over it. The guy's not even from Toronto. He's from Saskatchewan.
No, but you're right. That was a country.
The whole country was. He was like, I can't talk about it.
Did you hear what Doc said? Doc Rivers said?
No.
There's no sound to it. I was looking for it. So I guess they were in Toronto for the game. The Bucks were in Toronto for the game,
no.
and he was having some fun at the expense of the Toronto media and the fans.
Oh no, I gotta check that out. I sat next to my husband's a Chester County guy, born and raised Philadelphia area native, and he was like, "Take that." How does that feel? Like, it's just people of a certain age, because he was like 11, I think, when 93 happened. So very formidable years in his Philly fandom.
Oh yeah,
he was take that. And Rogers Center is due for some pain.
No, it was
a lot of people that felt that way.
It was a flashback to then. That's how it hurt people that much.
They really took it hard.
It hurt that much.
Yeah.
I actually felt bad. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for Blue Jays fans, even though we went through it with that rat.
He was like, take that, Blue Jays. I was like, oh God, that's so long ago. He's like, you don't understand. I was like, you're right, I don't. I was not here when I was 11 years old watching that as a little kid. I did go into what did happen to me when I was 11 years old, and that was a completely different thing.
Doc Rivers,
1993.
Here's Doc Rivers. We all okay? Are we all okay? That was a hard one. God, that game was heart-wrenching. Look at the bright side.
Oh,
Donald Trump wasn't going to invite you to the White House anyway.
Because they're Canadian.
You know what?
That was a great World Series. It was awesome. I think we should tell everyone how hard it is to win.
The press conference in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Whether you like it or not.
That is like...
Tip of the cap to him on that one.
Wow, that's actually like... I'm mildly impressed, Doc. He's trolling...
It's a dumbass question.
Well.
By the way, the Bucks lost by 28 points in the game to the Raptors.
You don't know basketball.
And that's what he's saying?
He said it before the game, yeah.
Oh, that's even better. And if he said that before the game, and then he comes to his post-game press conference after having lost by 28, if I was a Blue Jay, or like any Toronto reporter, I would have been like, so, you got to give as good as you can get, right?
But by the way, Doc, you're not going to the White House either, buddy.
No, or anything, or the playoffs. They lost again last night. Bucks did.
Yeah, you can't give me enough Doc Rivers drops. One of the all-time best drop boards. Doc Rivers and his one-liners.
Whether you like it or not.
Would you ask that question to Pop?
Would you ask Pop that question? God, he elite.
The arrogance. Like when that comment happened, and I know he didn't go there, but his son did. That is the most Duke type of vibe that I had ever heard. I was like when J.J. Redick had his very first press conference, and I was like, you people want to like you, but then you have this smugness,
right?
And I'm just
because everything I heard from people that I work for the Sixers was Doc's a good dude.
Yeah, I enjoyed my interactions with him generally.
It's just that he has the whole I'm a champion.
Yeah,
I'm
won.
a Hall of Famer. I won, and it's like
Nick Nurse also won. You don't see him having the smugness.
Nick Nurse doesn't have the resume of losing in playoff series up 3 games to whatever.
Nick Nurse is literally like coach teams that we've never heard of and try to get the most out of them. So
you don't know basketball.
We don't. That's good stuff. Doc the trolling Toronto. I did not have that on my bingo card. That's good.
Who was it what role player was it Paul Reed? Paul Reed had a great game towards the end of the season, and he was so annoyed that he was being asked these Paul Reed questions.
And he was just that was like you don't know basketball type of vibe, because it was like, why are you keep asking me about B-ball Paul?
We're not going to go on the Paul Reed victory tour.
That's what he said, right? It was an all-time. He was so annoyed. Oh,
but the guy actually he had some good games. He got a good contract because of a couple of those good games. Now he's a DNP most nights.
Yeah, it was a good non-signing by the Sixers. All right, coming up. So we'll react to what Zielecki had said. Are they really going to let Ranger Suarez go to the Mets? Also, yesterday, Bill Colarulo, for the first time, inspired Ray to ask a question, this or that, for the Phillies' offseason plans. We'll do that coming up.
I'm
Bill
shocked
inspired you yesterday.
That's how good All-Star Day was.
It was really
All-Star was a lot of fun.
The highlight of All-Star.
I think I listened almost all day.
The highlight of the day was you insinuating that you would kill Christian Leitner with the ship.
That was an answer to a trivia question. What would I fashion the part of the Spectrum floor in?
I got in my car and Amy's ready to kill Christian Leitner with the ship.
I said I wouldn't kill him. I would just maybe
hashtag breaking news. Amy Fadul wants Christian Leitner dead.
Just like inflict a little pain. That's all.
That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Howie Roseman talks post-deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock, with the Eagles having made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. Howie Roseman met with the media and said that this is trade deadline philosophy.
I think it first starts with an overall philosophy that we could upgrade every spot. With that mentality, looking for any edges. So if there's incremental difference in a player, we owe it to our team, to our fans, to our building, to our owner to do that.
Now the Birds got to get ready for the Packers on Monday Night Football coming up. They will get back onto the practice field tomorrow for the first time since the bye. The 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls last night, blowing a 24-point lead. Lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey at 39 points to loss. They're back in action tonight against the Cavs. That game at 7 o'clock right here on the Fanatic. Flyers won 5-4 last night, a shootout win over the Canadians. Bobby Brink had 2 goals in the win. You just heard us talk to Todd Zalecki about the Phillies postseason plans. You catch that conversation one more time on the Fanatic app or 975thefanatic.com. This update brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 975 The Fanatic and 975thefanatic.com.
Weekdays with Marks. As yesterday was the All-Star Day here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Very successful. A lot of good feedback.
Shout out Mike Vito for planning all that. It was a lot to moving parts.
It was.
It was a lot of fun, though.
A lot of fun. A lot of everything really yesterday, including Charles Barkley. But Bill Colarulo on Unfiltered with Ricky Bo. Ray liked the segment, and I wasn't going to say you stole the segment because he probably never heard it from me, but it was called This or That. It's the exact same segment I had done, I don't know how many years ago, with the exact same open, really.
Oh.
Tribe Called Quest, This or That, This or That. Or no, Black Sheep, excuse me.
You can get with that.
Right. And he did it very well. So he had This or That with us. So he gave, what did he give? He gave us each a question, This or That.
Yeah.
He actually gave the Jack, Fritz, or you to me. He said Jack, Fritz, or Ray.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Which is an unfair question.
Very unfair.
Yeah, because Jack's my guy.
Right.
But you're also my producer, and you're my guy.
Yeah.
So
Once upon a time, Jack tried to get me hired somewhere else.
Did he?
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully?
Unsuccessfully.
Another bad decision by them. It was the same thing with Bill. They wouldn't return Bill's email.
Really?
Even though I was saying you should email him back. Oh, yeah, I'll email him back. Yeah. They never would. There you go. Oh. I picked you.
Wow. That's bold.
Whether or not I actually believe that I said it.
I was going to say, that seems like company PR right there.
No, you're my guy. Come on, give me a break. But you were inspired by this segment.
I was.
All
yes.
right, tell us what we're
inspired
doing.
by just the question that he posed, Kyle Schwarber or JT. It's the either-or type of scenario. If you can only have one. There's two more I have on top of that, but we'll start with the Kyle Schwarber or JT.
Amy, what do you think?
Kyle Schwarber. I understand that JT, what he means to the pitching staff and how important the catcher's position is. I get all that. I'm here for it. Defensively, he's great. You don't run on the JT. We know that. I don't want to live in a world where Kyle Schwarber is not wearing a Phillies uniform. Todd said it, and I think that he called it, because I think John Middleton has called it, his, not constituents, but his customers. His customers want to see Kyle Schwarber hit home runs in Citizens Bank Park. I want to see Kyle Schwarber hit home runs in Citizens Bank Park wearing a Phillies uniform, so it's Kyle Schwarber.
He's the biggest draw right now. And unfortunately, I didn't get back to it with Todd. Do you remember this, Ray? That John Middleton, it might have been on the radio, he said, Todd Zalecki had a Twitter poll, and it was whether the Phillies should sign Bryce Harper or Manny Machado.
I remember a lot of people had this poll.
He actually quoted Todd Zalecki's Twitter poll. It was like 8,000 people. They had like 8,000 votes, and they wanted Bryce Harper. We said the reason why we signed Bryce Harper is because of Todd Zalecki's Twitter poll. So whatever we need done, have Zalecki put out a tweet and a poll.
That's it.
And it'll happen. So I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to go to play devil's advocate. I'm going to go with, here's why you say JT.
Okay.
If Kyle Schwarber doesn't come back, now you have flexibility at the DH position to where you can have Bryce Harper DH part-time, and you sign a guy like Pete Alonso who can be part-time DH, part-time first baseman. Because when you have Kyle Schwarber who really can't play anywhere else but DH, you can't give Bryce Harper the option to be DH. And here's the other thing when you talk about Bryce Harper moving the right field. Yeah, you want him to stay healthy. Good luck. Put him in right field. Have him banging into the wall 140 games a year. Yeah, he's going to play 110 games a year.
It'd be nice to see somebody to actually get out there and make a play in right field as to bang into the wall instead of just running after it in the corner.
Yeah.
That's something I would be interested in.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have it as a strength in your outfield to have a right fielder out there rather than Nick? Yeah, so Kyle Schwarber's the answer. But if Kyle Schwarber was to say, hey, I want to go home to Cincinnati.
It does give you a lot more flexibility monetarily and position-wise.
Yep. Are you going to get
I just don't want to live in that world.
No, I don't either. No, I love it.
It's a very, very normal world, but I don't
Todd
like
had said he's the best leader he's ever covered. Todd's been covering the team for 20-some years.
And that was the thing. I remember there was times this summer and even in September where we would be talking about the Phillies and be like, oh, there's no leader in the clubhouse. I'm like, that is saying that's just not true. Kyle Schwarber has long been looked to as that guy. The players have all said it numerous times. And then to have Todd say it, those guys are in the clubhouse as well. They see the way the players react to them. Kyle Schwarber is absolutely one of the best and biggest leaders they have had. And I think losing him, you would lose a lot. And you'd lose a lot if you lost JT to that same degree. I think he garners a lot of respect, not just with the pitching staff, but with his teammates just in general. So, yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of decisions. But the fact is that, they might have to make one. I don't think they're going to.
Give me the other ones quickly. Right.
All right. If you were to trade one this offseason, Bohm or Marsh?
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you.
One, you get more back, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with Marsh being a platoon outfielder.
I'm fine with that.
He's good in that role.
He plays a decent center field. To have the turnaround season, a guy that batted 0 for in April, he was
great.
108 when he got sent down. That's a big turnaround.
Till the postseason.
Everybody was bad in the postseason. But yes, till the postseason. I mean, I'm going to yes, he was not good, but now there was anybody else.
I don't think Bohm's back because they want to use that $10 million to sign an outfielder. They need a right-handed bat to bat behind Bryce Harper.
It's desperate is what I would say.
All right, what's the last one?
Last one for you. Would you rather see them spend more money on relief pitching or starting pitching?
Relief pitching.
Well, what's starting pitching?
Starting pitching is basically asking if you've given up on Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, they're not signing. They're not giving.
That's just.
They're not giving him $160 million. I mean, who knows?
Well, if the market falls apart, they've got the qualifying offer they're sitting for him. You're not going to spend more than $20 million on relief pitching.
It ain't happening, brother.
You need relievers.
You do.
You need one guy that can pitch in front of Duran. Period.
If I see Jordan Romano again,
you will not.
You will not.
I mean, just in general.
Maybe if you go to a Barnstormers game in a few years, I could see him pitching Lancaster, trying to.
Does he have any trick plays? Because he do Savannah Banana situation?
Maybe.
You know what?
I don't know. You never know what these guys have.
That's a very successful league.
It is. I went to that game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. All right, coming up, News at Noon, featuring, among others, Paul Pierce and Tom Brady. Can't wait to hear that. News at Noon with Ray Dunn. Also coming up at the end of the program, feedback. It's our final segment of the show. We have an AI voice that will voice your text messages or your email. The email address is 975feedback@975thefanatic.com or the text line at 610-632-0975. Anything sports related or anything else that we're talking about, especially some News at Noon subjects, which is coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks post deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock with the Eagles having made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. They acquired a pair of corners, Jair Alexander and Michael Carter. Also added edge rusher in Jalen Phillips. Howie Roseman spoke yesterday about not being afraid to take risks at the deadline.
I feel like when there's opportunities to be aggressive for the right players, we're not going to sit on our hands. I don't think that you have great success without taking great risks at times. They got to make sense, and so we can't be afraid to fail.
Looking not to fail on Monday Night Football when they get back to action out of the bye against the Packers in Green Bay this Monday. They'll take the practice field again tomorrow. 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls, blew a 24-point lead and lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey had 39 points and lost. They're back in action tonight against the Cavaliers at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. Flyers won 5-4 last night. It was a shootout win over the Canadians. Bobby Brink with a pair of goals in the win for the Flyers. We spoke to Todd Zalecki earlier about the Phillies' offseason plans. You can catch that conversation on our website or the Fanatic app. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Score huge deals and better sleep at Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale. Their sleep experts will find the perfect bed for your unique needs. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Kincade and Salciunas.
with Marks, Amy Fadul, Ray Dunn. Tomorrow, Sean Brace makes his debut on the show in the number 2 chair. So make sure you stay tuned for that. 4 p.m. tomorrow, MLB free agency starts with a whimper, probably.
It's going to go on forever. Starts at 4 p.m., ends in 6 months.
Yeah, ends in February or before the regular season starts. Fun!
Sometimes
so much fun.
It goes on till March. Sometimes.
Well, I remember we were down in spring training one year, and Bryce Harper just signed, and we got the first interview with him, and then Arrieta just signed too. That whole year where they signed, the spring training was going on.
Yeah, you've already happened. You've already reported.
Yeah, that's not ideal for the NFL. They do this stupid tampering period where they're tampering anyway, but they do the stupid tampering period. And then there's everybody signed before the free agency actually starts.
The tampering period is just laughable, let's be honest, because it even starts before that.
It does.
It's like there's a non-tampering period.
Right.
What?
Well,
So
it's when
you know what's happening.
You can legally tamper. Before that, you're not supposed to tamper.
But you know you did.
But you know you did anyway.
You already talked to. It's NBA has the same thing. It's like all of a sudden, like how did you come to terms with in the NFL? Oh, it's a 3-year, $70 million. In 5 seconds?
Negotiating complex contracts in 5 seconds.
It's amazing.
Howie really is that good.
I mean, they really are, truly. They should just teach math now.
They should. All right, we have a lot to get to in the news at noon. Let's hit it.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, we're going to start with football and then go to a pair of Boston legends. But we'll start with the upcoming opponent for the Philadelphia Eagles. So in case you missed it, Tucker Kraft. Very, very unfortunate going down for the Packers. And Romeo Doubs making it seem like he was lost a little bit more than just for the football team on the field. This is Doubs at his locker this week talking about the Tucker Kraft injury.
Wouldn't wish that, just on one of our captains or even just your worst enemy. I don't wish that on any man, and, Tucker is in a better place. Again, you just got to... Next question, please.
Tucker is in a better place. Next question.
He kept getting backed into a corner. I was like, I don't have any... I've lost my train of thought, and now I don't know what I'm saying. I just want to make it stop.
To be clear, everyone, Tucker Kraft tore his ACL. Very much alive. Right. Unfortunate, out for the season, but alive.
That is so obvious that he was like, I didn't mean to say that. Just I like the sudden pivot. Just ask me anything else.
Elite pivot. Next question.
Just go.
Get me out of this.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I give him credit.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah,
you could have just kept talking.
Yeah, because a lot of times players will just keep talking, and then
not going to be good for you.
Sirianni's very good at talking, and you forget what the question was because you didn't shut up. And sometimes you just need to end it.
Just gotta. Yep. Just no more. I don't know what that is, but
kind of succinct, at least.
Yeah.
Got to the end.
Good work.
He's in a better place.
Yeah, he's in a better place now.
All right.
Rest in peace.
We've decided that we're going to continue to platform Paul Pierce on 3 or 4 different podcasts. Paul Pierce decided my basketball analysis, that's secondary. I want to give out some life advice.
Oh, yes.
This is Paul Pierce to all the fellas out there. If you want to find out if a girl truly loves you, this is what you do.
You really want to know if a girl loves you, you need to go out and cheat on her. Let's see. If you really want to know if a girl love you for real, go cheat on her and see how she react. Now we're going to see what's real. I'm just saying, I don't know. Tell me.
Man,
well, we will tell you. Yeah, so you can cheat on her and realize, oh, she did love me, and now I don't have her or her love.
Yeah. Yeah, what a low life.
He's really, he's very good at giving out life advice. This man is really, he has a very solid foundation for his own personal life and has in no way had any kind of,
or
nefarious type of thing.
Or Paul, you're rich, and that's the only reason why anybody would stay with you because you have a lot of money and they don't actually love you.
We've seen what he does in his
free time.
Yes.
What happened
it's not
with
free though? So
what happened with the strip club?
Call it that.
What happened with the strip club?
He brought him back.
Hey, he was having a little party at home.
At his house.
Yeah.
No, went on Instagram Live.
Literally, of all the people, he he's a guy that should just pivot and not say anything ever.
He should be like,
shut up.
Next topic. I don't want to talk about
God,
that.
what a low life.
If you want to know if your house is a home, burn it down and see if you miss it.
Right, yeah.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah, like trust me, Paul, just because they stay with you after you cheat doesn't mean they love you. It means that they want your money and they hate you, and they're probably living or with you because they like the lifestyle and they're doing what they want to do on their own time.
It was between Paul Pierce saying he was better than Dwayne Wade or Paul Pierce saying that you should cheat on the woman you love. That was what we were talking about today for the news at noon.
I like that one.
Yeah, I figured that one would be.
He's not better than D Wade, by the way.
No, he's not. No.
Although earlier when Amy was talking about being crafty and getting fouled to get to the foul line, Paul Pierce, the all-time guy at leaning in and drawing contact and then shooting a high free throw percentage, or cheating on
people.
Apparently. Apparently, that's how you know. So thank you for that advice, Paul Pierce. We're going to go to another Boston legend. Tom Brady is in the news this week for an interview with People magazine.
This is wild.
Yeah, so he celebrated colossal biosciences and the fact that they brought back an extinct wolf and everything they could do scientifically. But now, People magazine, in this interview, he said that they cloned his dog that passed in 2023. So their dog, Lua, passed away in 2023. The company created a clone, Junie, who is a one-for-one replacement for Lua.
Yep. By the way, Brady invested in this company.
Yeah. He believes in it a lot.
So he has money that's tied up in this. So here was my initial reaction. You can bring that music down. That this is so Tom Brady-ish.
Isn't it, though?
It's so Tom Brady-ish. But the more I think about it, if I could have cloned my Lexi, I put her down in 2017. She's a little Jack Russell. She was 18 years old. She traveled with me everywhere early in my radio career. I probably lived in a different apartment or like different roommates every year. And she came with me everywhere. I would clone her in a second.
I think there's a lot of people that, I got that article and I did have a request. Sean was like, how much would this cost? Because we love our dog now. I was like, yeah. I think like the starting rate is like, and there's no guarantee, it's like $50,000 just to even like start the process.
Even to think about it, yeah.
Just to start the process. I don't know what like all in, what it would be. But there's definitely like a mindset of like, that was a really good inner cat dog, whatever. And then you always worry about the next one because it is going to be just as good. Probably not.
Well, it's also dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you worry about all right, well, so Tom Brady's never going to die because he's just going to clone himself to make sure he's always alive.
Oh, he's definitely going to be like the Ted Williams out there and just be like another Boston legend. A lot of Bostons. But like, hey, maybe if you cryogenically freeze, because he, sleeps in like I bet he sleeps in like a hyperbaric chamber, eats like weak germ and grass.
Would anything surprise you that you heard about Tom?
No.
Like that? No, nothing.
No. The only time that Tom seemed like a real person was after the Bucks Super Bowl.
When he was drunk?
That was like the only time I was like, oh, look at you. You are kind of normal.
He's like us. He had too much to drink.
We thought he was gonna throw the trophy into the bay.
That's funny.
I think that was the most relatable he's ever been in his entire life.
So it was, and that was it. That was it.
Or like his, maybe like 1 year in college. Maybe he was relatable, but I doubt it.
You have a dog?
Yes.
Yeah. So anybody that has a dog can relate. It's just because
especially
it's
if your
Tom.
dog's like a great dog.
Yeah, and
But because it's Tom, you're like, eh.
Did you grow up with a dog, Ray?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody can relate.
Yeah, I mean, I loved my dogs. I don't think I'd do the one-for-one thing.
I would. If I had enough money, I would.
It's a really good dog. Like, our dog is a great dog.
Yeah, I still, even 8 years later, miss my Lexi. When I put her to sleep, she stopped eating. She was 18. Her mind was fine. She just wouldn't eat anymore. But I would make her burgers and steaks and anything that was on the internet to try to get an old dog to.
Yeah.
I tried, and she got so skinny. I was just like, I'm being selfish now. I got to do it. So I was driving into work after I had her put it down, and I cried the entire way.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that.
Nothing worse. And I played. What was the song that I played? Had the Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing over and over and over again in the car because it helped me cry it out.
It's so sad.
True story.
I mean, I went through this summer. We put down our dog, like my family dog, in August.
Yeah,
I think it was like July, and it's the worst thing in the world.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
So here's my question from that. I'm going to go with some Philadelphia sports personalities. What kind of a dog does Nick Sirianni have? But first of all, what kind of a dog does Tom Brady have, do you think? What would be a Tom Brady dog? Because I had a Jack Russell, which should be no surprise to anybody. I'm short in stature, but
French
I'm fiery.
bulldog.
You see, I was thinking the same thing. the wife, like when he had the family, they probably had a
Giselle had
Giselle
the
had
French
the-
bulldog.
French bulldog, Bichon Frise, something like that, or maybe like a genetically engineered mix of some type of a dog. But anyway, what would Sirianni have? What type of a dog would Nick Sirianni have?
I need him to have like a German Shepherd.
Interesting choice. I'm
And
thinking
that's what I-
some big dumb dog.
I was thinking like
Sirianni
a
would have.
Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, those are smart, aren't they?
I don't know.
Rescue people.
I haven't really gone with the whole education side of the thing, but
But like you need like an Ophi, like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, like a big dumb.
I think he needs a dog that's going to listen to him, and a German Shepherd is just going to stand at attention and just stare at him when he's talking forever.
But he has the dog mentality, so maybe he wants a dog with a dog, which wouldn't be the dumb dog.
Dog mentality.
Right. Saquon, what kind of a dog?
Oh,
I say multiple pit bulls, like 3.
I think he's going to have like a friendly dog. He's a family guy. He's got a golden retriever.
Saquon golden retriever, Ray?
I would think honestly, just because of how
He's just such like a hey.
I feel like the edge leaves him as soon as he gets off the field.
Well, I'm not saying a dog fighting ring. Because pit bulls are nice. I like pit bulls. I'm not trying to associate
But I
it
feel
with
like he
dog
wants
fighting.
the welcoming atmosphere in his home. You know, like I feel like he's got that type of I'll hang out with anyone type of thing.
All right, Jalen Hurts.
There's no way he has a dog.
Yeah, there's.
That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
You think he's got time for a foolish dog?
No. Okay, dogs are extraneous. He's the guy that would visit a dog and be like, dogs are great. Do you want one? Nope.
Keep the
look
main
at
thing
it.
the main thing.
Like,
No way.
don't put that thing near me. Bryce Harper, what kind of dog?
Oh, definitely like a fancy hybrid dog.
Fancy hire. Good
Some
answer.
sort of doodle.
That's what. Well, ours is rescue. I don't know what he is, but he's like a doodle-ish.
Yeah.
Something.
All right, Rob Thompson.
He would have like a.
See, I'm going a Cairn Terrier. He's wearing a top hat and he's got a Cairn Terrier that he's walking out.
Karen Terrier. That's a good one.
Who else? Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber to me is the lab guy.
Yeah, that's a chocolate lab.
Uh-huh.
He's going to go hunting with him. He's going to ride in the truck with him.
Yep.
He's going to sit in the front. He's going to have a cool name.
Yep.
That's his best friend.
All right, what kind of dog did Ray have? I don't know the answer to this.
Ray had definitely a rescue dog. No, it was a golden retriever.
Golden Retriever growing up. Golden Doodle was the last one.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
You're good at this.
Yeah. So I read dog people. I guess.
Maybe it's good at I had written down no dog. Like Jalen Hurts has no time
no
for a
way
dog.
he has a dog, right?
Nope.
Someone might have a dog. He's like, is the dog coming with you? You know what I mean? Like people come over like, hey, I'm going to be walking my dog. Can we stop by? Is the dog also coming?
Keep the main thing the main thing.
But then you also have Herb Street that won't shut up about the dog. I get it, Herbie. You have a dog and it travels with you on the plane. That's great. Like you don't have to. I don't have to hear about the dog anymore.
It's a little much.
It's way more than a little much.
A little much.
All right, coming up. We heard Howie Roseman yesterday for the first time, and he addressed the A.J. Brown trade rumors. We'll play that. We'll talk about where the Eagles are after the trade deadline. As we have a game, they're back from the bye Monday Night Football against the Packers. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody.
I think that when you're trying to be a great team, it's hard to trade great players. And A.J. Brown's a great player. He wears the C for a reason. He's an important part of this team, of this organization. He cares about winning. He cares about his teammates. And I think that when you're a team like ours that is looking forward to an opportunity to compete for a championship, just don't get rid of the guys like that. And so I feel very lucky to have him on our team and excited about the second half of the season with him.
All right, Howie Roseman yesterday at his post-trade deadline press conference. We're back. Middays with Mark, Amy Fadul, Ray Diggity Dunn. Say, didn't you rip me for the song originally?
No, I just said that I thought you got this from TikTok.
Oh, that's right. You questioned why.
No, yeah, I was surprised, which is not new for me. There's been surprises when hosts have asked me for songs in their rotators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is
it's a good song.
Well, it's on my playlist. On my Amazon playlist.
I liked it underneath the Howie Roseman, too.
It was soothing.
Yeah, the Happier Now. Let's talk about A.J. Brown. Yeah, it was very fitting.
All right, so Amy, I'm going to ask you, can you decipher or translate what Howie, if he was saying anything at all about A.J.? Because people are like, see that?
You always try to dive in, like, what's he actually saying? Like,
I don't think he said anything.
It's great because we had, the clip from, we were talking to Todd Stilecki, and we were remembering back what, Dave Dombrowski said, too much. He's like, wait, I didn't mean it like that. I left out a couple of things. You want maybe somewhere in between, probably.
Yeah, don't do full Dave.
Don't say everything that you're thinking right now without any qualifier at all, or don't just give us qualifiers, which is, I feel like sometimes that's all they do. But I didn't read anything extra about the A.J. Brown.
Well, and what he said is right. A.J. Brown's a really good player.
Yeah, we're going to try to use him as best we can.
They're not going to just trade him because there may be some internal things going on, and they're not there. In the offseason, I think that's where it's a meeting of the minds with everybody involved, and they say, hey, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, what you saw yesterday at the trade deadline was there were some big moves that were made.
I mean, the Cowboys.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
And Jerry Jones had said it. We got a big move. And you're like, all right, sure you do. And they made a minor one earlier, and I was like, that's
the
your big
Bengals
move.
linebacker.
Yeah, I'm like, that's your big move. And then all of a sudden you saw it, Quinn, and I was like, oh.
Yep, he's trading first-round draft picks and everything else. And then Sauce Gardner gets traded for 2 first-round draft picks from the Colts, which was crazy.
Crazy.
So I wonder if a team like New England, I was listening to some Boston Sports Radio this morning, our sister station up there, the Sports Hub, and the hosts weren't doing the thing where they're going crazy, like, the Patriots should have made a move.
Right.
What are they doing? But they didn't make any moves. They're 7-2.
Yeah, that's a good team up there. I think people are surprised by that.
Good team. AFC's wide open. And they definitely could use some help. Now, there's a big difference between adding a defensive end or using a third-round draft pick for a trade and doing a blockbuster.
Right.
So I wonder if a team would have, if the Patriots would have called the Eagles and said, all right, we got 2 ones for you.
Yeah.
What Howie would have said.
I mean, you have to consider that, right? You would have to consider it. 2 ones?
It's so tough but then who's your wide receiver opposite of Devontae? Are you making a secondary move? It's tough because regardless of how what the Eagles' offense is,
do that, but you definitely listen to that. I mean, that's a.
It's hard
offer.
to pass up.
That's a big time offer. You'd have to really consider it because then you would have to have the consideration of a secondary move to pick up another wide receiver.
Jacoby Myers was moved yesterday, so you could have potentially done that. Ray Dunn, I'm Elliot Wolf, the general manager of the Patriots, and I'm calling Howie Roseman. Howie, I got 2 number 1 draft picks for you for A.J. Brown. What do you say?
Still no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first part of what Howie Roseman said there is the truth of the matter. You're a great team. You don't want to give up a great player.
Agreed.
I'm not telling you it's not happening over the offseason, but right now, I'm not trying to figure out what this team looks like without A.J. Brown midseason. That's an offseason project.
I agree. You almost hope you don't get a call.
Right.
You hope that you don't have somebody that's saying, no, we really want him. We're willing to offer you even more.
What do you want?
Right. Because then there has to be, I mean.
That's a different conversation.
There almost has to be a price, especially if you know. I think that you have an idea, especially if you're internally right now with the Eagles, if this works out past this season, you get a feel for it. Like, no, I think we'll be okay. Can you make it work for another year? Just to be clear, I don't want to trade A.J. Brown anywhere. I love A.J. Brown. He's one of the best wide receivers in football. I want this offense to figure out how to use A.J. Brown more so he's happier, if he can actually find happiness here. But overall, though, Amy, happy with the Eagles' moves?
I mean, I thought that they shored up the things that they needed to address, right? And I think they did it for cost-effective, things in return, things that you actually maybe have like one too many. You kind of maybe went a little too far, but I appreciate that. I mean, there's a lot more help now off the edge. And I was surprised they made that extra move because of getting Brandon Graham back. But I think Brandon Graham is just the solid, all right, 20%, 30% of the snaps, locker room, bring some of these players along. Nolan Smith has talked about how much Brandon Graham helped him last year. That's obviously going to go a long way. And now corners, you do have a little bit of an excess there, which is not something you would say. But I think that's more you needed quantity.
Need bodies, yeah.
You needed quantity. It may not be the highest quality across the board for that secondary spot across from Mitchell, but I thought you just needed bodies. You need people, and you need to see what they could kick the tires on Jair Alexander. See what you got.
So are they cutting somebody? I know
you don't really have room right now.
I know DeCecco had said yesterday. He said it's notable Adoree Jackson doesn't play special teams.
That's very important.
So if you're a backup corner, you don't play special teams. That's generally not good for you making a roster out of training camp. So you wonder with the additional, maybe they wanted to see what Jair, what he looked like bringing him in before they made the roster move.
I figured that's the idea of kick the tires, see what he looks like, because you don't have any tape on him in Baltimore. He didn't play. He just couldn't get on the field. So you wonder what happened there.
Well, speaking of that, Howie made the trade, but Jair Alexander's former coach, John Harbaugh, was asked about moving on from him. And we'll have that coming up right after this. 610-632-0975. Howie Roseman on his other trade acquisition. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks post deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock, with the Eagles having made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. A pair of corners in Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, as well as edge rusher Jalen Phillips, all making their way to Philadelphia. Howie Roseman talked yesterday about not being afraid to take risks.
I feel like when there's opportunities to be aggressive for the right players, we're not going to sit on our hands. I don't think that you have great success without taking great risks at times. They got to make sense, and so we can't be afraid to fail.
Should be afraid to fail Monday night against the Packers. A Pack team right now favored against the Birds on Monday Night Football. The Eagles, the number 1 seed in the NFC, going to Green Bay to come out of the bye. They'll get back to the practice field tomorrow. The 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls with a 24-point lead. Lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey had 39 points to loss. They're back in action tonight against the Cavs at 7 o'clock. You catch that game right here on the Fanatic. Flyers won 5-4 last night, a shootout win over the Canadians. Bobby Brink with a pair of goals in the win. We spoke to Todd Zalecki of MLB.com earlier about the Phillies offseason. Catch that conversation one more time at 975thefanatic.com and the Fanatic app. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Ray Down in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
There's opportunities to do different things and try to make your team better, and falls in that category.
All right, that was John Harbaugh talking about Jair Alexander. He was asked about trading him. So it could mean a couple things. Because how many games did he play in, Jair? Two games. So it could be a couple things. One, he's completely washed, and he just can't play, and they weren't going to put him out there because it's not like the Ravens didn't have a need on defense. It seems like they lost everybody.
They had a need on secondary.
So that's a real possibility. Or something happened where he didn't mesh with a coach, or like we've seen this happen before, where like he didn't fit into the system or whatever else, and it became a numbers game where they said, no, we're going with other guys before you, and you're going to be inactive.
I think the highbrow raising comes from the fact that John Harbaugh is a secondary coach.
Right.
And it's like, he's a defensive-minded coach. He was a secondary coach. It's like, does he just not have it? Or is it what you were just talking about, which might be, this is the second longest tenured coach. They obviously have a certain standard and tradition that they have there, and this is the way they run it. John Harbaugh's been there a long time. Maybe he just didn't fit in. Maybe that was it. That's what I'm leaning towards, rather than just a guy that just can't play.
That's what we're hoping is the case. But Amy, in reality, they got to get through. They got to get through the next 9 games, right? They're 6-2. They got to get through the next 9 games. If Jair Alexander makes an impact as a corner in 2 of the games or whatever,
then it was worth it.
Then it was worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't give up anything for it, really.
That's what I think when you think about the trade deadline. But there really wasn't for the Eagles, this huge move that you cost yourself. You leveraged, a bunch of stuff for the future.
Yeah, third's fine. Jalen Phillips, they may resign, right? He's a younger player that
I think if that was moved by anybody else, you'd be like, perfect. But I think everybody's mad because it was the Eagles that did it. They're like, wait, you did what? You traded with who? Come on.
You have the people that are mad, and then you have the people that are like, how he does it again.
There he goes.
Yeah, when you're a team, when you're like, they have 3 third-round draft picks for a reason, so he can flip one of them.
Yep.
And then he gets a comp pick if he signs anywhere else and whatever. But everybody that I heard, DeCecco said this again yesterday, they just acquired their best edge rusher, their best natural pass rusher they acquired in Phillips. Got to stay healthy, got to produce. But, yeah, so Jair Alexander, I firmly believe the Eagles have no idea whether – it's kind of like Dave Dombrowski and Bryce Harper. They have no idea what they're going to get till they put him out there. But their secondary coach coached them in Green Bay, so he's familiar with them. He can vouch for them. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that was the theme. Jair Alexander has a connection here. Jalen Phillips has a connection here with Fangio. There's connections.
All right, here's Howie Roseman talking about Jair Alexander.
Sometimes, you in this league, you acquire information, you watch everything, and you feel like, hey, the risk is worth the reward here. And I think when you talk about still a young guy, knowing where his health is at now, feeling healthy, feeling good, we felt like the risk was worth the reward with him.
Yeah, because the risk was what? You traded a 6 for a 7, essentially, and you got a player.
Which is a pick that you don't even know that you're keeping in any way, shape, or form.
It's the easiest decision ever.
That's an extra pick to an actual body right now.
Yeah. So
that's an easy one.
And corner's still a weakness, but at the very least now you've seen.
At least got some more quantity and a little bit higher quality.
Yep. And if Cooper DeJean ends up being in the playoffs, he's your outside corner because the other guys are terrible, then that's what you're going to do.
Not the end of the world.
It is not. Eagles are 6-2. They're the top seed right now in the NFC.
I think what we saw this past weekend, it's so much fun to watch football, and you realize, hey, it's nothing good. I don't have any stress about my team this weekend. I can just watch everybody else's team.
Oh, and what a weekend it was.
That's the thing. Like, I felt better about where the Eagles 6-2 record because of watching other teams, and I thought, that team doesn't look unstoppable.
Can you believe that the NFC East is going to have back-to-back winners?
For the first
time in 2004.
20-plus years.
It's unbelievable.
That's wild.
Dallas is cooked, even though they're making trades like they're in contention for a playoff spot.
That's the one thing with Jerry Jones in control. Stay in control. You just ride that into the sunset.
He's going to be 89 years old.
Still making great moves.
Doing
and
the same thing.
Paying people what they should be paid.
Washington's cooked.
Jalen.
Daniels.
Jaden
He's going to miss time. That was a horrific injury.
I honestly felt bad for the Commanders fans because they were you thought it last year. They were so excited. It was their first quarterback in a really long time since RG3. And they were just like, look at this fun new toy we have.
New owner that knows what he's doing.
Oh, this is just the ownership is invested. It's not a toxic environment. We went to the NFC title game. So much fun. A coach that people are jazzed about and want to play for. And then I kept coming back because I grew up in Virginia, so I have a lot of family that are Commanders fan. I kept coming back, and I was like, you guys are putting all your eggs in a delicate basket. No, he's not the same as RG3. He's not. That is factually true. He is better than RG3. Low bar, but yes. But he has the same issues as far as...
He couldn't stay healthy last year. He had the rib injury last year.
Correct.
And when you play that style, and he's not reckless.
When you play that style. That's it. He's not a reckless player. He's not out there just running for the sake of running. It's designed because of how he, is able to work an offense.
He's also skinny. He's not...
The slight fella.
Yeah, Jalen's built...
I don't wish anybody on injury, but you kind of saw it coming.
They didn't. That's for sure.
They're crestfallen.
They were so chesty heading into the season. I have a friend who's
we're only going to get better.
He's got he's got a big podcast down there, and he's like, oh, they're all coming for us.
We're the lead dog now.
Yep. It's so hard to win year to year. And look at like a quarterback, the adjustments that the league make from a young quarterback. Like what was the adjustment they made to Jaden Daniels this year? We're going to hit him.
Exactly.
You see what happened.
You're 6'5", 150 pounds or whatever. Like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to knock you out of the game. It's a big man sport, and you're not the biggest man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts he's a solid citizen.
He sure is. And the Giants, and just to top it all off, the Giants are officially done for the season.
Yeah. I mean, were they ever really – I think they got the participation award like this.
Well, it was fun.
The Broncos game. That was their participation award.
Yeah, they peaked with the Eagles game.
That was it.
They kicked the Eagles' butt.
Congratulations. You won a game. This is it for you.
And as I tell my Giant fan, my close Giant friend fan, you got your quarterback. Kid can play.
Which is great.
Kid can play.
I enjoy Jackson Dart. Enjoy that. You don't have a running back right now.
Now you need a coach.
You don't have a coach. You don't have wide receivers, really. No. So, but other than that.
Yeah, you're perfect. You're fine.
No! How's
Everything's
the play?
fine. Yep. But I am, are you an energy drink
I'm not.
fan?
I actually don't consume a lot of caffeine.
Wow.
I don't know. Isn't that wild?
You work late.
Yeah.
You
get up early.
You get up early. You have a family.
I get up very early.
Wait.
I don't drink coffee. I don't drink caffeine. I've had energy drinks in the past. They did not work out well for me because I don't drink a lot of caffeine, and it didn't
sit well.
I was just hyped. It was. Ray, do you remember the game?
I forget the game, but I remember the story.
It was the Heat. It was the Heat game in the play-in.
Oh, Batum. It was the Batum game.
You know how much I enjoy that play.
Which should have been natural, just energy for you.
So I come on the post game, and there was a buy one get one offer on or what are those things called?
Celsius.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So I thought those were like healthy versions of it. Keep in mind, I rarely consume caffeine. Like occasionally, I'll have like a cup of tea, very rarely even like a Diet Coke. And I had two from like 3. I had one at 3 o'clock, and then I had one at like 7 o'clock.
Heart palpitations?
It was a later game. It was like a 9 o'clock game, the way the play-in thing worked. And you should pull up the clip we have at work of like me on the post-game show. I was like hyped. I was like, because they won. I was like, I was energy. Listen, I'm an energetic person anyway. I have a lot of natural energy. I'm always kind of hyped after a win because I'm generally but I was like, it was out of control. So I learned my lesson. I think I've had like 1 Celsius. Occasionally I'll have like a little bit, and I kind of temper it for like the West Coast games.
For a sip, you'll have a sip or two.
Yeah, like there was no way I could drink a whole one. But like if they're playing the Clippers and it's a 10:30 start Eastern Standard Time, and that's like a tough one.
I just toggle between coffee and energy drinks.
Yeah, I can't.
They have no effect on me. Ray uses drugs, so he doesn't actually take.
That's a different story.
He's doing meth.
But your body's like good with caffeine, so it doesn't freak out when it presents.
Yeah, I'm sure
itself.
it's great. I'm sure it's great for my health.
The nicest thing about Amy was that she offered to buy me, and she's brought in coffee for me a number of times when we do the show together.
Yes.
She offers on the way in to bring it in. The first time, she legitimately had no idea what she was doing at Wawa getting the coffee. And it was this like the.
It's like I don't know if you take cream or.
I did. I was like, I think I asked him like 8 questions about how he took his coffee. Where do I find the coffee?
And you didn't know what
flavor does he like?
He can get his own coffee. You're so nice.
I was stopping by the Wawa, and I was like, I'll see if he wants, because he always would have a coffee.
So I have blueberry mist right here. That's why I asked.
Who makes that?
Well, so So we're up against it. So I'm a dollar store shopper, and I went to the dollar store last night with my kids, and they had good energy drinks. This is a 3D blueberry mist. I've never had this brand before. It's very good, sweet.
Oh.
Yep, tastes good. Tastes good.
Not an energy drink guy, just coffee.
No, I know.
Well, that is an energy.
It doesn't have. Honestly, it's weird to say. It doesn't have calories, and like.
Which, then you wonder what is it made of.
I know what it's made of. All right, coming up. We're gonna have some angry people next segment. Marcus Spears' feelings towards Howie Roseman, and a guy going around MetLife Stadium asking who the most hateable NFC East fan base is, and I think I have Mad Dog being mad as well. It's an angry segment coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Raids on, and every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you got to do is place an anytime touchdown bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Now, for this Thursday, I'm already just looking at Brock Bowers and just what he's going to mean to that team if they're even going to have a chance to beat the Broncos, because you have the Raiders, you've got the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, and the Raiders 9.5-point dogs as it sits right now. They're going to have to throw the football. Geno Smith's going to have to try to will them into that game. I don't think it's going to be much of one, but Brock Bowers is going to be the reason why they have a chance at all. The anytime touchdown score for him, they're going to hope that he's scoring that first touchdown of the game, setting the tone right for Las Vegas, excuse me. But that would be the way I would go if I was you. And you know me, I love my player props. All you got to do is visit FanDuel.com/endzone. That's FanDuel.com/endzone for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. You play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally amongst all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
John Kincade and Drew
It is Middays with Marks, Amy Fadul, Ray Dunn. Tomorrow, Sean Brace makes his reappearance at 97.5 The Fanatic, Middays with Marks. He's back tomorrow.
Stuff. I'll be looking forward to listening to that.
What was I going to say? Feedback. Last segment of the show. 975 feedback at 975thefanatic.com or the text line, which is 610-632-0975. Just whenever you text, put your name and your location so we can identify you with your great text. But if you want to be featured in feedback, just put feedback, and then we'll feature you. Last segment of the show, we have our paid AI voice. You know, I personally pay for it, Amy, of my own card. I do.
I love it.
I'm not going to ask them to pay for it because it'll be like, well, we really don't have the budget for it.
Just do it.
Yeah. My business credit card actually pays for it.
And once they start paying computers, we're all screwed anyway. So.
Oh, no, we're screwed. Yeah, we're screwed. You're right.
Yeah. We're just staving this off by a few weeks.
So that's last segment of the show.
John's footing the bill for it, so it's fine.
I am.
So it's good.
John's keeping me in business for a few extra weeks.
I actually like the
appreciate
voice.
That.
So there was some experimentation with different voices, and it didn't work. So we like our voice that we've been using.
Yeah, the British woman only really applied to Jason. That was more of a Martinez thing. He enjoyed that. I did not. Then the next guy that we had
was even worse.
Was bad, and Scott actually pointed this out to me. It sounded like Ryan Russillo, which is why it was so unnerving to me, because it sounded real.
It sounded like Ryan Russillo was voicing feedback line.
Like, I think I kind of expected at the end of one of those feedback clips for him to be like, all right, and the 2008 NBA draft, we're going to go look back through it and see who failed. Like, I just kind of assumed it was going to go to a redraftable segment.
Right.
Which he's already taken a shot at Bill Simmons for the fact he's not doing any more redraftables, which is a good media beef that I'm enjoying.
Man, I was just thinking about that minutes ago.
Oh, come on. You don't like a good media beef? Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo?
I don't know if there's anybody else in this world that cares less about Bill Simmons than me. I let him do his stuff. He's very successful. The watchables, redraftables, or whatever. Have fun.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm Bill Simmons. Have fun. I have no interest in that. All right, so that's coming up the last segment of the show. So we have an angry segment here, Amy Fadul. Who are we going to start out with, Ray?
I mean, I'm always partial to Mad Dog.
So Joe Davis, the voice of MLB on Fox, called the World Series, is also the full-time play-by-play for the Dodgers on TV.
Yes.
So it would be like Tom McCarthy calling the World Series game as an impartial national play-by-play guy, but he does the Phillies games. Well, Joe Davis was at the parade, the Dodgers parade.
Well, he's the broadcaster.
Like Tom McCarthy would be at the parade. Yes. He's like he's the MC of the ceremony. Mad Dog Russo on Sirius XM did not appreciate it. There it is.
When you're a national broadcaster and you're the voice of the sport on the big stage when you did 1 million playoff games, and then they, in one of the crippling losses that a franchise is going to have in the history of the sport, that's as bad a loss as you're ever going to have. And I got Joe, basically the body's not even cold yet. And I got Joe at Dodger Stadium doing the freaking Dodger parade. Oh, my God. That's bad. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. You can say I'm screaming and yelling about nothing. That would piss me off if I'm a Blue Jay fan. I got Joe Davis shaking everybody's hand. Give me a shaking freaking Ohtani's hand, and he's freaking wacky, getting rings. He's the announcer for the World Series. Oh, my God. And he's got the trophy right there. God, if you're a Blue Jay fan, you're vomiting right now. That is bad.
Yeah.
That is the most New York rant ever.
It is.
Because he literally was saying it as a New York fan, because he would lose his mind if that was a New York team instead of the Blue Jays.
Can you imagine?
He would have lost his mind. He lost it for Toronto's behalf, and Toronto's probably up there being like, who do we care who's calling the World Series?
Right, we would care about that here.
Of course we do. We would lose our minds. Are you kidding me?
He would never. I mean, think about.
We get mad enough that John Smoltz is doing the game.
Joe Buck hates everything about Philadelphia.
That's my favorite thing.
Every broadcaster, Chris Collinsworth hates Philadelphia. Every national broadcaster hates us.
It's so great. Like, why? And I remember thinking I was watching one of the games, and I was like, gosh, Smoltz is good. I'm like, no, he's not. Stop talking, Amy.
We love hating on national announcers.
Right?
It's great.
That's a really good point, Smoltz. No, it's not. Stop talking.
Shut up, Smoltz.
You don't know anything about baseball.
I'm a big Joe Buck fan, and he gets a kick out of.
He does.
He gets a kick out of
so
it.
I'm sure you have. You've talked to him.
Yes.
It's fun to talk to him about it because he was, according to everybody else, this is Joe Buck saying it. In 2008, he was the biggest Rays fan you ever did see. He loves the Yankees. He loves whomever the Phillies are playing. That's his favorite team. He was a giant Rays guy.
But to what Mad Dog is saying, Joe Buck grew up son of his father's legendary Cardinal announcer. Joe Buck is very much aligned with the Cardinals. It would be like him being the full-time Cardinals announcer and then calling the World Series, and then going to the parade.
So if I'm the Mets in this example, and the Phillies beat the Mets in the NLCS, and then now they go on to win the World Series, and Tom McCarthy was calling all of these games, the NLCS and the World Series. If I'm the Mets, I'd be like, what's that about?
Yeah, hell no.
That's your guy. I don't want your guy anywhere near my team.
It's an elite take that Mad Dog is as mad as he is over it.
But I think because he's at the parade. It's not just that he called the game and is their announcer normally. It's that he was at the parade next to the trophy. He was next to the trophy. Who cares if he's next to the trophy?
Just shaking Otani's hand.
He's shaking people's hands. He's next to a trophy.
All right, who's mad next, Ray?
That's good.
Let's go to the Athlon Sports.
All right, so it's a guy that's saying who do you what is the most annoying fan? So he's at MetLife Stadium. He's asking Giants fans and a couple Jets fans, but he's asking them who's the most annoying NFC East fan. But it's pretty obvious what they're going to say. Go ahead.
Who do you think has the most annoying fans in the NFC East?
That's the easiest question I'll never going to get. The Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles too. Eagles without a doubt.
Eagles. Philly. I used to think it was Dallas.
Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys. They think they can win the Super Bowl each and every year.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles for sure.
Eagles. The Eagles. They're a bunch of suckers.
Wow. Strong one to finish on there. They're very, very factually true about the Cowboys fans, though.
It is.
Like they feel like they could win. That's true, and they don't. And they never do, which is great.
Yeah, could you imagine how annoying it must be to not be an Eagle fan these days?
It's so great because it's the opposite of what that guy said. It's like they think they can win the Super Bowl because they just did. Sorry, not sorry.
Finally, you have do we have Bill O'Brien here?
Well, I can grab that right now.
Well, whatever. Don't worry about it. Bill O'Brien's 1-8 at Boston College, and somebody asked him about like the message to the fans, and he got so mad. You got Bill O'Brien. Here's Bill O'Brien at a press conference.
Coach, wondering, do you have a message to the fans? Obviously losing to Notre Dame Catholic school rival, 1-8 now in the season BC. I've heard from a lot of fans. They're just really
I'm really glad. You know, I'm glad you're down. I'm not down. Nobody's down. We're fighting. We're competing. You know, it's the second year of this program, Mike. You always come in here with these down questions. Like, you show up like once a month or something like that. You come in here with these down questions. I'm not down. I don't know what year you graduated from BC, but this is a program that we're building. Okay. Nobody here's down. We're positive. We're going to show up and play our asses off against SMU. You can go out there in your dark, clouded world or whatever it is and do what you want to do. We're not down. The sun is up, and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
There you go.
Next question.
Yeah,
Trevor.
Trevor's like, I wasn't even raising my hand.
Everything's fine because I said everything's fine.
Yeah, don't look over here. Don't look there.
It's
all sunny. There's a sun that came up today, and we're fighting it. One win.
What's the gif of it's everything's fine and there's fire burning in the background?
It's the guy, this is the dog.
The little dog, yeah. What is that from, though? Is that from like a cartoon or something?
I don't know.
That's
one of my favorite memes. That's a great meme.
All right. And you had Marcus Spears on Howie Roseman? Angry? I know that's what we teased. I forgot I had the Bill O'Brien. Is Marcus Spears?
Too.
All right, good.
I hate Howard. I hate him. I'm so sick of him. I've been sick of him for a couple of years. Go on. And
that's a compliment, Howie. It's a compliment.
And Howie knows that. Howie know I don't hate him. I actually admire the way he goes after winning championships and does not wait. You think about the Eagles for the last 4 years, going to Super Bowls, having opportunities to win them. He's made a significant trade at some point.
There you go. Former Cowboy. Of course he hates Howie Roseman.
Yeah, you know you're doing something well. So when you go and think about the hated, so if that question, like the guy that was going around the Giants Stadium or whatever asked that, there would be one of those things if you did it here, Right now, you'd be like, I don't care. I don't care about anybody because we're leading the pack. But over the years, if you had somebody like, who's your most hated hockey player, they're going to say like Sidney Crosby.
Sidney
right?
Crosby.
Because he's so good.
And they won.
Right? And that's the thing. So it's like, it's good. I'm glad. Marcus Spears saying that. He's a Cowboy. Of course he's going to hate Howie Roseman. Yes, you know you're doing something right. Good. Congrats.
Coming up, we'll get back to baseball. We mentioned it earlier, but former GM Jim Bowden gave his projection for a Kyle Schwarber contract. We'll play that and get back into the conversation. Did I call a GIF a GIF? It's a GIF or a GIF, right?
Yeah, it's either a GIF or a GIF.
It's a GIF.
It's both.
No, it's decisively a GIF.
We'll break it down coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks post-deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock, but the Eagles have made 3 moves in the week leading up to it. Added 2 corners, Michael Carter and Jair Alexander. Also had edge rusher Jalen Phillips. Howie Roseman, after the deadline, talking about his philosophy ahead of it.
I think it first starts with an overall philosophy that we could upgrade every spot. With that mentality, looking for any edges. So if there's incremental difference in a player, we owe it to our team, to our fans, to our building, to our owner to do that.
They're headed to Green Bay for Monday Night Football this week. Coming out of the bye, they'll return to the practice field tomorrow. 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls, blew a 24-point lead, lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey had 39 points in the loss. They're back in action tonight against the Cavs at 7 o'clock. The Flyers won 5-4. Shootout win for them over the Canadians. Bobby Brink 2 goals in the win. We spoke earlier to Todd Zalecki of MLB.com about the Phillies postseason, or Phillies offseason. Man, the postseason so far in the rearview at this point. Phillies offseason, you catch that conversation one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. This update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries, and they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We're back. Middays with Marks. Amy Fadul. We've had a fun couple last shows together. We had some stuff to talk about.
We always do.
Yeah. Sixers losing last night ended up being the start of the show. Now we're going to talk about GIF or GIF. Because going back into the back, everybody's yelling at me, including Ricky Bowe. It's GIF. It's GIF. And I'm not trying, like Ray, I'm not trying to tell you that you have to say GIF or GIF. I don't care what you say.
It's the way you say it, and I think it's just fine.
Right, like, yeah, if I want to say GIF, you can say GIF. You want to call it a tomato, I'm not going to tell you can't say tomato. Right, exactly.
But you did. I told you to look it up, and you found a little research, didn't you not?
I did. So the creator of the format says it's pronounced GIF.
Well, not everyone's well-rounded. You could be good at technology, but not good at pronouncing things.
Soft G, but he invented it.
He invented it. My issue with that is that it is known as the G stands for graphic. Right, graphic interchangeable file.
Right, to be a hard G.
Hard G. So that's why I go. And also, I like it. Better. GIF sounds better.
Gift is just GIF with a T. GIF is a peanut butter in which has a J.
Okay, that doesn't.
No, I understand, but the English language is stupid.
Yeah, that's
all the time. There's things that don't make sense.
Apparently.
Well, do you have the clip? Do you remember this was years ago and he was playing for the Nationals where Bryce Harper mispronounced meme?
Do you call it Mimi?
A meme. With it was on SVP. I
don't remember it.
Oh my goodness! When I say it is like a crying. If I ever send you a crying emoji, it's usually because I am. That is absolutely like pause. I am losing air. I can't breathe. It was he said like meme. He might have said it twice. And I was like, what's happening right now?
Google it real fast, right? See if you can find it.
It is so great. It was one of those, you know how SVP will do the interviews right there after whatever game. And he had him on, I don't know if it was after a game, he had him on Sunday Night Baseball or whatever it was. But he said it. And or I feel like Bryce Harper wasn't wearing a uniform. So maybe it was just, maybe it was after he got an MVP. Whatever it was, there was an interview and it was a live interview. And he didn't know how to pronounce meme, which as you know is spelled M-E-M-E. It's a meme.
It's not pronounced the way that
it's not Mimi. It's not meme. I can't wait for you to hear this. But it's like just like, name, N-A-M-E. The E makes the other E, the long E. Meme.
I believe it's pronounced May.
It's so great. It's the best clip. It's such a great clip. I think of it every time.
I'm looking at it right now, right? How can you not find this?
You got it's
just Google Bryce Harper meme.
I got it.
Okay.
What do you got? About to play.
Let's hear it.
Good.
Answer that right now because I know how many memes are going to be out there of me with a bald head. I don't even want to answer that right now because I know how many memes are going to be out there of me with a bald head.
Obviously, SVP asked him something because SVP has no hair. I have no idea what the context of it. I just remember watching it live, and I was at work, and I thought, oh, my God, what did he just call it?
This looks like a very young Bryce Harper.
I mean, yeah, he's with the Nats.
For sure, but I'm looking at the video. He's wearing...
Does it have a date on it? I don't know. It was a while ago.
It has to be. I don't know if it would have that.
May.
It says 9 years ago.
May. Well, it's like one of those, it's on TikTok. Like, what's a word you've mispronounced before? All these people have these crazy things that they say, but it starts with Justin Timberlake saying, me.
Right.
Because he mispronounced. He's saying it wrong. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be, what song is that? Is that an NSYNC song?
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be May. May.
May.
Oh, that's good. A remix for Bryce Harper. If this whole baseball thing doesn't work out like Dombrowski sees it not working out, he could go into music.
Well, he already has a career in doing TikToks with the homemade Gatorade.
That's a great point.
Right?
And breads.
And, everything that he was doing. Speaking of Bryce Harper, let's go to the man who was shouted out by Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper actually hit a home run for Chuck from Mount Airy, and he shouted him out after the game. Chuck from Mount Airy, how are you?
Yo, what up, Johnny?
What are you doing, Chuck?
How you feeling?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Amy Fadul, she there?
I sure am, Chuck.
What's up, Amy? How you doing? I've been watching you for a long time on the Sixers Post Game Live.
Thanks,
How you doing?
I'm good, bud.
Big fan of yours.
Thank you.
So, Amy, if you don't know, Chuck is also anti-Joel Embiid, and he's been saying it for years. So I was actually thinking. I was thinking about you last night watching the games. I felt like you last night, Chuck.
Yeah, my wife recorded me without me knowing, man. You should have seen. I'm going to send you a video, Johnny. I was going off. This guy, I've never disliked a player more than this guy. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, I'm talking about no Dallas Cowboy. no Laker, no Boston Celtic. And it's a shame because the guy plays on my team. He is a lazy, non-winning loser. And I'm just going to tell you that right now. He sits there and settles for jump shots, and then he got the nerve to double down on it after the game. You know what he said after the game? He said that they were all good shots, and they just got to fall. And next time he'll make sure they fall. We just got to get over this game. That guy is the biggest loser I've ever seen in my life, and I am so tired of people taking up for him and making excuses for him. The guy doesn't protect the rim like he's supposed to. I don't care about his injuries because he shouldn't be out there if he's injured. And Nick Nurse he's a moron because you keep running the offense to a guy that can't move. You know what I mean? This guy
You don't really run
he's
the
a
offense
7'2" guard.
Doesn't really.
He's a 7'2" guard. You know what I mean? That's all he is. And we have guards on this team. VJ Edgecombe didn't even shoot the ball yesterday. I don't know what that's about. He wasn't even aggressive. This guy just takes the life. It only took 5 or 7 games for Joel Embiid to suck the life out of the 76ers. And I'll tell you, until he's out of here, I'm never buying into the 76ers. I'm going to promise you that right now. I almost bought in because of VJ Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe, and those guys. But this guy, he just single-handedly just sabotages a season. Just single-handedly. I've never seen a guy like him just do it. He's a baby. He's a moper. He's a complainer. He's a lazy guy that just don't want to, play the center position the right way. Shooting the ball should be secondary. He did nothing yesterday. To help his team win a basketball game, and they kept going to him. He settled for a 3-point shot off his leg.
So we were talking about that earlier, as Amy pointed out.
That was forced.
Grimes just threw on the ball with like 2 seconds left in the shot clock, and he kind of threw it up. But I mean, so Chuck, I guess a lot of 76ers fans, like I don't feel as strongly as you about Joel Embiid. I just don't, like, when I watch him play, I just see a guy that's a shell of himself. And it just doesn't work in the modern NBA.
Well, to your point, the modern NBA, Chuck said something about play the center position. Who is a traditional center right now in the NBA for you, Chuck? Who plays that role?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm not going to say you don't have to be like Shaq or be like Mutombo or any of those guys. I know it's a new game, Amy. But what I'm saying is Adam Boner is a plus. He has a plus rating since the beginning of the year. Joel Embiid, I believe, was -17 plus minus ratio.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a -17. Like, give me a guy that plays like a Theo Ratliff so these guards can get out and run. Not a guy that's clogging up the middle of the court, at the top of the arc, where the guys need room to go. Like, you got guards now. You don't need to be up there. This guy, he wasn't even down there to get offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds. You're satisfying with this guy just shooting the ball the way he is?
No.
And, it's just not falling. And another thing is Quentin Grimes. I like the guy, but he needs to slow down a little bit, man. He turned the ball over 3 consecutive times that game yesterday. I don't know why he's out of control at times. But Joel Embiid, to me, the days of running this offense through him is over, man. It's over. You got to rethink this thing if you're Nick Nurse, man. And he didn't. It's a reason why, he didn't close out the games previously, and we won those games. And the 2 games that he did close out, ironically, we lose. He doesn't give the effort on the defensive end that you need from your center. That's all I'm saying. I like the way Bona played, like Drummond played. Give me rebounds. Give me block shots. Give me putback.
Maybe bridge too far with the Drummond.
But Chuck, we got to run. Yeah, they got to figure out. They got to figure out the best way to get.
There's a lot of things I
Embiid
could
in
take
there.
away from what Chuck said.
Yeah.
A couple of statistical things I just want to point out there.
It's not
Embiid
true.
+1 last night. VJ saying he didn't shoot. He had as many shots or more than he's had over the last 4 games. He had 12 attempts in that game. His shots also did not fall.
I would. He hasn't looked like the same player we saw earlier in the season. That may have nothing to do with Joel Embiid. It just may be adjustments being made to him.
I think I think the answer is yes. It's a combination of both. I will say that they do not run the offense through Joel Embiid like they used to. Like that, those days I think have gone. When a guy's only playing 25 minutes, you can't.
It's tough to do.
You can't.
All right, we'll get back to some Sixers calls. Also, we mentioned it earlier, Jim Bowden, the projection for a Kyle Schwarber contract. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5. All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks, the 1 o'clock hour of the program, brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them at 610-980-4000. Let's get the Sixer call in here, and then we'll pivot back to the Phillies. Scott in West Philadelphia. What up, Scotty?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
What's going on?
I just heard your boy Chuck go on his rant about Embiid, and I just think Philly fans are so ungrateful. It's like they forget so fast how much a person's done for you. And I'm a diehard Philly fan, but I just think the vitriol towards Embiid is ridiculous. It's out of hand.
I mean, I think that you're probably right, but I mean, Chuck's the extreme.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chuck's the extreme. But very extreme. But also, like you said, all that Embiid has done for us. What exactly?
He carried us out of the process era. We could still be in a process era. Like, he gave us amazing moments over the past 6 years. We could still be watching Michael Carter-esque players perform. Like, we went to the playoffs. We were a couple doinks away from being in a conference championship game. Like, Embiid did that.
Embiid has been. He's an all-time 76er player. He's an unbelievable talent. I can't take that away from him. But like, do I look back? I mean, honestly, Scott, do I look back at the Joel Embiid post-process years? Like they were fun. To me, it feels like more of a missed opportunity than anything. There's too much talent on those teams, and I'm not even blaming him for it necessarily.
Well, you talk about fun. That's all the Sixers team is. They lost 2 close games, and just to defend Embiid a little bit, he had a block shot yesterday, so this guy doesn't have defense. He had a critical block at the end of the game.
It's a great block.
Gave us a chance. The last 2 games where we lost, he didn't want to take the last shot. They threw him the ball at the last minute. The 3, that wasn't his shot. Last night, that wasn't his shot.
I think people are going to focus on that 3. There's other shot selection that you could focus on, but not the 3 for me, just because that was.
And then he didn't do nothing.
Rushed.
He had 20 points in 20 minutes in the first quarter. When everyone was having fun, and the Sixers won 45-point first quarter, and Embiid was there for 8 minutes and hadn't scored 20 points. Like, we got to calm down. Is he going to be the impact player he was before? Probably not. But he's contributing. Just to make it seem like without him we would be great, it's ridiculous.
See, you know what my biggest issue is right now, Scott, and obviously, and I appreciate the call. We're how many games into the season? They play 7 games so far? Yeah, I don't think it's fair to say they're never going to be able to figure it out. 7 games in is a small sample size. You have a 20-year-old rookie that's playing, right?
And he's been playing out of this world. But I went over it. 3 leading minutes guys in the league, in the entire NBA, are all 3 Sixers.
The biggest worry to me is defensively he doesn't look like he can cover anybody anymore.
Yeah, I will never say I think the team is better with Joel Embiid on the roster, on the court. It does need to be figured out, but we are 7 games in, and for anybody to say one way or the other, whether you're of the mindset of like, we don't need Embiid, this is fine, this is good, that's a little bit short-sighted. Or if you're the other side, like, you have to have him and you got to force him in there, that's also too short-sighted. You're not looking at the big picture of this. It's an 82-game season. It has to be worked out. It will be worked out. What it looks like, I don't know. I think the bigger problem that you and I talked about earlier was, how do you get both of these guys involved?
Yeah, Paul George, too.
There's 2 guys. It's one thing, Joel Embiid, you can have him as a trailer. When the first shot doesn't go in, it's rebounded. You can reset. Now you're in that half-court offense. That's a completely different look than what they run. And you're going to have it. Not every possession is going to result in a bucket. Otherwise, these scores would be crazy. But then now you have 2 of these puzzle pieces to put in that necessarily don't fit exactly how you want them to. You have 2 trailers?
Playing them together, that's going to be tough.
Paul George better be ready to roll. We're rolling it out.
Can we hear Jim Bowden talking about Kyle Schwarber, 4 p.m. tomorrow? So what are we? Let me do the math. 23 in some hours, or 26 in some hours until MLB free agency opens. And then no one will be signed for 2 months. But anyway, Kyle Schwarber, what does this market look like? Here's Jim Bowden.
I think he makes everybody around him better. He makes rookies better. He makes veteran players better. He makes managers better. Outside of the Dodgers, who have Ohtani, and the Yankees, who have Stanton's contract they're stuck with, I think every other team in baseball should try to get Kyle Schwarber to be the guy. Now, in terms of why I put the money where I put it, everything I'm understanding is, again, this is information that I'm getting, that it sounds like 5 years, 150 to 170 is where this thing is going to land. That's what I've been told by everybody.
I mean, he's not wrong when he says, one, those numbers, and 2, that everybody should try to get this guy. Because he is a difference maker. He's a difference maker in the clubhouse. We heard from Todd Zalecki on that earlier. Obviously, he's a difference maker when it comes to do you want him to lead off? You know what's fun to lead off with? It's a home run. He had 56 of those puppies last year.
Yeah, it is fun when he leads off with a home run.
Yeah.
So how about this with Schwarber? Why isn't he batting behind Bryce Harper? And I understand the new baseball thing. You want him to hit get most at bats they possibly can.
Right.
So you
well, that's why
want
Ohtani bats first.
Right. And
Aaron Judge, those guys are all up there now.
I know, but if you need to move Bryce Harper up in the lineup. Then so check this out. Bryce Harper saw I'd
put him at 2.
It's the lowest. Harper at 2, Schwarber at 3. Trey Turner leading off because Schwarber hits lefties, so it's not like that you're worried about having left.
I don't care. Yeah, that little metric goes away for me for them.
Bryce Harper, he saw the lowest percentage of first pitch strikes or lowest percentage of pitches in the strike zone last year, 43.5%. So he's seeing less pitches in the strike zone than anybody in baseball. First pitch swinging Bryce Harper last year, it's a career high. He swung at 54% of the first pitches, right, most in his career. Kyle Schwarber, what do you think the first pitch swinging for Schwarber would be?
Low.
So Harper's going up there with Bohm behind him. He's saying, "Oh my God, I got a swinger."
Bohm
or whatever.
Or JT
right.
or
Castellanos, God forbid.
29%.
How about 27%?
Wow.
Schwarber's swinging, and
he's 25.
He's also better at working counts, drawing walks, and things like that. So he has a better approach, even though he's not a high average guy. He sees more pitches. Bryce is going up there trying to be too aggressive.
So there's no one behind him.
Hopefully this is something that they can figure out, but they can also work with and say, listen, here's how they're getting you out. He gets so frustrated, and he's trying to do too much.
Which I get. I get why you're frustrated, because you are trying to do too much, because Kyle Schwarber gets a better look at everything. He can get all these options because they're going to give you something, because they're going to try to get you out because they don't want to face the guy behind you. To that degree, as a sell to move up in the lineup, because I know he likes batting third. I get it. One, that's the thing. Whatever bat you're going to have behind you, unless it's Pete Alonso, it's not going to be the same level, right? I don't care. I don't know who is. I've looked at the list. There's not a lot of bats out there that have that same kind of potential to really give you the protection that you need, right? Move up. Then you point to the other people that are like you in the league and where they bat. They all bat second.
Yep.
That's the new position. That's the way it works now. So I think you sell him on that. If you want to make this team better, you need to adjust your stance in the lineup.
Turner, Harper, Schwarber.
That's how I go.
You still don't have a cleanup hitter.
No.
And maybe you're screwing Schwarber, but then he's more patient at the plate.
Just think he's a better approach. Yeah. And there's going to be people that think they can get to him because of the lefty-lefty thing. I don't know. I think you still have to find that bat. You know, I know Todd mentioned it. The right-handed bat is obvious. I mean, that is the most obvious thing, as opposed, in addition to, I should say, the guy to lead up to Duran. But whoever it is, unless it's Pete Alonso, it's not going to have the same power.
And it's not. They're gonna need to make a trade because, as you said, when you look at free agent right-handed bats in the outfield,
not a lot out there.
But Starling Marte, he's a guy that you can probably afford. Yeah, there's nobody out there that's going to provide the protection. No, 37.
Oh, even better.
He fit right in here, Amy.
Perfect. Love it.
You want to see what this roster is going to look like in a few years? Here's Starling Marte to give you a little preview.
Yeah, let's just sign him long-term, too. You know, Kyle Schwarber had more home runs than 26 teams against lefties. He had more home runs against left-handed pitching than 26 teams in Major League Baseball last year.
And that's
combined.
Wild.
Yep.
It's the thing if you think about, like, how important having protection to your big bats are. Like, he has the ultimate protection. He has Bryce Harper behind him.
So flip him. When Jeff Kent, I remember when Jeff Kent struggled one year bad in San Francisco. Barry Bonds was the 3-hitter. Jeff Kent batted 4th. They switched him, and they had Bonds hitting cleanup. Mm-hmm. Not ideally where he wanted to be.
No.
Guess what Jeff Kent saw? Was Jeff Kent? Jeff Kent.
Kent.
What he saw? A lot of fastballs.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because Barry Bonds was coming up next, and it turned his season around.
That's true. You imagine trying to, of course, he got a healthy dose of fastballs because Bonds is not seeing
Bonds is coming up. You're not going to walk him and put Bonds up there. They need to do something different with the price. All right, coming up, Todd Zalecki earlier in the show poured cold water on the idea that Dombrowski was trying to shut down the Harper extension talk with his comments. Can we officially put that conversation to bed? We also have some spring training stuff. We have some Sixers phone calls as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Roseman Talks deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NFL trade deadline passed yesterday at 4 o'clock. The Eagles made 3 deals in the week leading up to that deadline, acquiring 2 corners, Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, as well as edge rusher Jalen Phillips. Roseman talked about not being adverse to taking risks ahead of that deadline.
I feel like when there's opportunities to be aggressive for the right players, we're not going to sit on our hands. I don't think that you have great success without taking great risks at times. They got to make sense, and so we can't be afraid to fail.
Next up for the Birds is a matchup with the Packers on Monday Night Football. Coming out of the bye, they'll get back to the practice field tomorrow. 76ers lost 113-111 to the Bulls last night, blew a 24-point lead, lost the lead in the last 10 seconds of the game. Maxey had 39 points in the loss. Back in action tonight against the Cavs at 7 o'clock. You can catch that game right here on the Fanatic. Flyers won 5-4, a shootout win for them over the Canadians last night. Bobby Brink had a pair of goals in the win. We had Todd Zalecki on earlier to talk about the Phillies offseason. You can catch that conversation one more time on our website and the Fanatic app. This update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Ray Don, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Amy Fadul, Ray Dunn. Unfiltered coming up next. Ricky Batalico. Bill Colarulo. Don't go anywhere. They have a Power Pack show for you. Let's play Buster Olney. This was on Rich Eisen's show, I believe. So we had Todd Zalecki comment on this. Let's play you what Buster Olney had to say about the whole Dave Dombrowski, Bryce Harper elite conversation.
It was shocking that he said that out loud. I mean, what he said was absolutely the truth. I mean, you get into your early 30s and you wonder, can a player continue to ascend, or is it we've seen a slow descent? That was an eye-opener, and you're wondering what that's about. Bryce signed this 13-year contract without any opt-outs. He made it very clear from the first day he signed, I want this to be like a long-term marriage. I don't want to think about leaving the team. But in recent years, he's mentioned, can we talk about an extension? And so the perception within the sport is that Dave was trying to get ahead of that. Okay, enough of the extension talk. You're halfway through your contract. You were starting to see some production slide a little bit. It's something that they're going to have to sort through as they go through this winter time.
I never believed, listening to it real time, I never believed he was sending a message.
Trying to be like, don't talk about an extension because you didn't do this, and this last year. It didn't give off that vibe when you listen to it. If you watch it, it doesn't give off that, because that would be a different vibe, right? That's a different kind of conversation than just kind of assessing someone's season after a disappointing end.
No, and if you played what he said in its entirety, nothing he said was wrong, or what he needed to do if he needed to end it with, he has confidence in Bryce. He was injured. He's still a great player. We're going to win a World Series, and that's the goal. Bryce has to be the biggest part of it was an odd way to answer it. I don't believe for a second he was trying to motivate him by lighting a fire under his butt.
Or piss him off.
Yeah, no way. Dave, he spoke for damn near an hour.
It was a substantial press conference.
And he's a great talker. He gives candid answers a lot of times.
Like a stream of conscious type of thing.
And that's what he was doing. He was just up there riffing.
Which is great, and it was great for us. But then because of that, also because we're not used to that, you almost are good. It would be better if he didn't say anything, then we could read into it. He actually said something, so now we're reading too much into it.
And he's annoyed afterwards, like, I never said I was going to trade him. Like, we know you didn't say you were going to trade him.
But you did not say anything
But that started everything. So we had Todd Zalecki on earlier. We asked him about it, and he had said pretty much the same thing we just said, which is he doesn't see Dave sending a message like to Scott Boras of don't be asking for an extension. Or like, so you're going to more or less say he's not as good as he used to be. So no, you just don't give him an extension. You don't need to send messages through the media. I'm trying to figure out what, other than this is something a hockey GM or coach would do. Play mind games in the media, talk badly about the players. What's the other comp for this? Other than a player that you hate and you want out or you're fighting with.
You're fighting with. Like when you see that in football, you see it a little bit. Basketball, like I feel like the Jonathan Kuminga out there in the Warriors, that was like the fact that that was a pretty bad towards the end.
It was messy.
Steve Kerr is just basically saying, like, you're not good. We don't like you right now, and you're not doing what we want you to do.
And Dave didn't do that.
No.
But still, like, being honest, it's like, Howie, do you still think Lane Johnson is an elite tackle? He missed he missed some time this year, and if you look at some of the analytics, he isn't the player he once was.
When Fangio talks about Bryce Huff.
Right. Yeah, like Howie's going to come out and be like, yeah, well, and Lane's getting kind of old, and he's not as good as he used to be, and the injuries. Only Lane knows if he can be healthy next year, and if he can be. No one's going to say that. You got to lie. So anyway, Zalecki definitely poured cold water on that. So do we put this conversation to bed? Do I need to ask anybody else? Unless we get Buster on, then I can ask him.
Or like even the extension talk. Like, are we going to put that to bed? Like in a month, are we going to be talking about Scott Boras at the winter meetings, being like, "Hey, that Bryce Harper is still looking for some more money"?
Well, he hasn't. He hasn't talked about it.
Not yet.
Since last year, maybe.
Yeah, I think last year was the last time we heard from him.
Yeah.
Time and place is important here.
Yes.
This whole thing happening after a disappointing first-round exit, the story being that Dave Dombrowski was mean to Bryce Harper instead of Bryce Harper's team went out in the first round is very good for Scott Boras. Scott Boras likes that. Not saying this has been an entire thing that's manufactured in Scott Boras' mind, but I don't think he minds that this is the talking point.
No, you're right. He was injured. He tried to play through the injury. He has Alec. You didn't say Alec Bone's name. He has Alec Bone protecting him, batting cleanup. Like, you really want Bryce Harper to be?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Otherwise, it's Castellanos or JT.
Well, that's the big problem here. That was the guy that was paid to do it.
Castellanos.
We go way back to 2022. Somebody got $100 million from this organization to be a right-handed pop bat. And we're talking about that guy batting 7th or 6th.
Yeah.
He batted behind Brandon Marsh in a playoff series.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
I never viewed Castellanos as the impact cleanup hitter behind Bryce Harper. I pictured him as a 6-hole hitter that was going to hit 20 to 25 home runs.
Type of guy.
Yeah, like
shore up that area.
I mean,
apparently that was Harrison Bader.
Yeah, and now you got to overpay Bader to keep him. See, my biggest take, like I'm not giving Bader 3 years. Sorry.
No. That's way too many.
Ray?
See how this offseason shakes out.
No, but the problem is then the question is, well, who are you going to sign to play center field? And it's a right-handed bat.
And that's the thing. I obviously know that Todd's way more tied in with anyone in that organization than I could say to Pete. But with him saying they still look at Crawford as the center fielder.
No.
Do they?
No. Out of desperation, maybe.
Yeah. I just...
Left fielder.
Well, if he's a left fielder, then I need someone with a little pop in center field because you got no pop in left.
But wouldn't they be playing him in center field if they wanted him to be the center fielder?
Unless we still believe in Rojas.
He may be on the team. Rojas.
Look. If a look could kill, I'd be dead. Amy just looked at me like I should turn off the microphone and never speak again.
I hope they trade him because what are you going to do? Send him back down to the minors? And he's never going to come back up and be the center fielder of the team.
I think that sentence is it right there.
Yeah.
His value for you as a center fielder that left last year.
Yeah.
That's all gone. He might be valuable for another team. Maybe he needs to change of pace, change of scenery. Don't
Agreed.
care. It's not here in Philadelphia.
No.
This is not that. So thank you, Johan Rojas. It was fun while it lasted in the brief glimpses that we saw in center field. It was also an adventure. It's
also not fun sometimes.
So I would lean heavily on that. It's been a hot minute since there's been a solidified everyday center fielder that you felt good about both in the field and at the dish.
Regardless of pitching, left-handed starter.
Yes,
No, you're right.
That's been a hot minute.
You're right.
You're going back for a while.
All right, we'll wrap this up. We'll check in. What are the people saying? It's feedback coming up next. Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's
right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks. Feedback coming up in a second. The Braves exercised the $18 million option on Chris Sale, which is fairly obvious they were going to do. He's a Cy Young level pitcher. He got injured this past year, right?
Yes.
That's what he was kind of started off hot, then he got injured.
Yes.
Braves a disaster.
Again.
Pretty much the story of the Braves season.
Everybody got injured, yeah.
That's what happened last year, too.
Yep.
They had a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries. What else do we have here before we get to feedback? Happy 51st birthday to Jerry Stackhouse, former 76er. So, Amy, it was before you came to town. Ray wasn't even born yet. But Jerry Stackhouse was drafted before Allen Iverson, and he was a very accomplished player for North Carolina, and he was a great dunker, and it was after, like Jordan, and so it's like, oh, this guy could be the next Jordan. And he was a pretty good player, but then they drafted Allen Iverson. The posses, I believe, as they called them back then, of Stackhouse and AI did not get along behind the scenes.
Interesting.
So Stack was gone not long after that.
What's
as
Stack
AI
doing
began.
now? He was coach at Vanderbilt.
He played
a couple of years
forever.
ago. Yeah, he did.
I always liked Stack. He was good. What is Stackhouse doing?
He was coaching Vandy, and then he got let go a couple of years ago. I don't know what he does. I'm assuming an assistant coach somewhere.
Golden State Warriors.
Is he?
Oh.
Yeah, I was always.
Good luck to that franchise. Okay. Maybe they'll win something someday. Hilarious.
Maybe. All right, let's get to feedback, Ray.
Now, it's time for feedback.
How about filling us in?
I can't lie! Email us at 975feedback at 975thefanatic.com.
Say it! Let me tell you something!
Or text us at 610-632-0975.
Let me tell you something else, man.
It's feedback on Middays with Marks.
All right, what do we got?
John, Ray, and everyone at 97.5. I had a knee replacement last week, and you and all the hosts have made my recovery a lot easier to get through. Great all-star day, and thanks for bringing back Harry and Jason, too. Thank you, and I've made the switch. Marty from Havertown.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Mike the Switch, and Marty, and everybody else. Hope you enjoyed it. It is available. You can catch it on YouTube, podcast. Amy was on early. And then she got preempted by Howie Roseman.
I did. I got the call, and they said, Howie's coming on at 4:10, so you're not needed.
Yeah, do you want to come in and not talk for an hour?
Yeah. You can sit here for maybe be on for like 6 minutes. And I was like,
Maybe said, nah.
I'll go ahead and
Actually,
go on into NBC Sports Philadelphia for pregame.
It was excellent. It was a good day yesterday.
One day.
Glad you enjoyed it, Marty. Go ahead.
Two things I can't stand are kickers in short shorts and people hating on my overbearing pet content. Kirk in Columbus.
Herbie listening to the show
Well
today.
done.
Yep.
Well done, whoever that texter was.
Yeah. Well, it was Herbie. That's what he was.
Obviously, yes.
Texting. Yeah, the short shorts or something. Ray, can you wear those short shorts in the work one day?
No. I'm good. Thank you.
Could you go out and recreate it? Could you kick a field goal?
Yeah, probably.
How many yards?
I was probably nothing above 30. I'm not knocking down 51. I can tell you that.
25?
Duh, you couldn't kick a 30-yard field goal.
I think I could.
I don't think you could.
I think I could.
I don't think you could.
I got the whole stance and everything. I had to take a couple steps back.
Did you play soccer?
No, my brother was a good soccer player.
That is not how that works.
That's exactly how that works.
I thought he was going to say when he was 5 he played soccer the rest of us.
Yeah, I was going to say I played like everyone else did. I'll play recreationally if you need me.
So you think you can hit a 30-yard field goal?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be our ongoing bit, and you're going to have to do it. But I need more feedback on that. 975feedback at 975thefanatic.com. Can Ray Dunn hit a 30-yard field goal?
I think so.
As Donovan McNabb once said, I would say no.
I would say yes.
All right, what's next?
Oh, man. Ranger Suarez rocking the Mets blue and orange is going to look so good. I just can't wait for Harper to swing through an 89 miles per hour fastball next October. Uncle Stevie in Queens.
Yeah, Bryce getting out in front of it. The Ranger takes a mile an hour up, 2 off of it. He's fishing for it. Oh, my God. Yeah, please, no. Please, no. He can play for any other team. He can go to the Dodgers. Go to the Dodgers.
It feels like a Dodgers signing.
Go to the Dodgers.
All right. It does.
Yeah, I can deal with that. Don't go to the Mets. You know why, Ray? The Phillies were this close to winning a World Series. You know that one playoff win they got? They were this close to winning the entire thing.
You know what it is. You know exactly what it is.
Fine line.
Fine line.
Yep. You know why, Ray?
We have a good club.
Yep. All right, what's next?
Bill's swim instructors told him to dive headfirst into the shallow end as a kid. Fran Curran.
Bill Colarulo?
Yeah. I don't know what people had issue with Bill today.
Got those strays.
Well, he's the new nickname that we call him, Amy, is Meat and Head.
Yes, I heard.
And I think Ricky's Meat and Bill is Head. But he's also a former lawyer, so it's not like, well, I'm not saying he's brain damaged or anything like that, but he is a meathead. You disagree? I mean, he's a smart meathead, but he's a meathead.
He's a meathead. I don't know if I'm going to put a qualifier in front of that. He's
Yeah,
just a meathead.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
That's fine. I believe he's embracing it. I do.
I hope.
All right. What's next?
Ranger's perfect for the Mets with his dyed blonde tips. Sign there and watch him get fat. Joe in New Jersey.
Wow. We've already projected on his weight gain.
Yeah. Let's get him fat. Let's get him injured. Lots of time on the IL. I don't want that. I want them to be successful. You know the players when they leave. I did this with Kurt Schilling, even though I don't particularly like him now. When he went to Arizona because the Phillies sucked, I rooted for him, Randy Johnson.
Right.
Kurt Schilling's one of the best pitchers I've ever seen in Philly or outside of Philly. So I rooted for him. Randall Cunningham, when he left, I rooted for him in Minnesota. I like to root for players after they leave, players that I like. I can't do that if Ranger goes to the Mets. Or the Dodgers, for that matter. But I can deal with it if he goes to the Dodgers. Or the
I'm going to be
Giants.
distraught.
It's a little bit more out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, get him in the American League. Get him out of here.
Go to the Red Sox. I'll take a trip to Fenway next summer.
Red Sox would be great. It's a good idea. We could go up and we could cheer him. Standing ovation. You know, I gave Freddie Galvis a standing ovation when he returned to Philly.
Galvis.
Freddie Galvis before he said no one can do that. We'll
just
put it
Galvis.
back to Galvis. I don't actually. You know what, Ray? I don't think I gave him a standing ovation. I said I would have given him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like going to the game.
Shows you where the Phillies were.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody loves Howie now. But I remember when you guys were calling him the laundry boy and saying that Chip Kelly has sent him to the laundry room to work. He was never coming back. Angry Al.
That's true, Angry Al. Do you remember the press release? They said he was now in charge of equipment.
He had been banished, remember? His office was no longer anywhere near the actual parts of the facility that function as the front office.
It's crazy.
Talk about a comeback of the year. Comeback of the decade.
Yeah.
He was banished from the building and from anything to do with personnel, basically.
It's an all-time. Jeffrey Lurie kept him around wisely, but Howie also took that time to say, you know what?
Maybe I should take a step back. Maybe firefighters are not the best offensive linemen I've ever drafted.
Sandy Watkins. All right, two more. Go ahead.
I'm glad that all these national hot take artists think they know what the Eagles are. Just like how Marks thinks he knows Fashion Mo from Horsham.
He knows fashion. How do we get the pause?
Maybe like a period.
So wait.
It'll learn. We got a few weeks. It'll have it down.
Well, can't Nate do something with that? He's the one recording it,
Yeah,
right?
we probably could add a little bit of silence.
Yeah, you got to add a little bit of silence, Nate.
We'll teach him.
All right, last one.
Feedback sounds like Jonathan Goodman on Ozempic.
They're saying the AI voice.
Oh, that's good.
All right, shut it down. Feedback. There we go. I love the
fine line. We have a good club.
Yep. Feedback 975 feedback at 975thefanatic.com. Is Alvarado back? Actually, tomorrow's the deadline for him as well. Dave Dombrowski had said that he'd be surprised if he's not back. It's a matter of whether they pick up the $9 million option or they try to sign him. I would like to see him back for a couple years.
I mean, you talk about a guy that's going to eat some of those innings for you.
They need him.
Yeah. You desperately need a guy because your starters sometimes were only going to the fifth, maybe a little bit into the sixth. You need somebody in 6 and 7.
You need a right-handed high-leverage guy. You need Alvarado. Because
been that guy.
Kirkring's what he is. I'm not expecting him to turn into the second coming of Ryan Madsen in 2008.
Well, Alvarado can be a solid guy in the 7th inning for you, into the 8th inning. Solid. He's been known to be that guy. He's shown to be that guy.
Yep, for sure. All right. Sean Brace makes his debut on Middays with Marks tomorrow in for the Amy Fadul chair. Is it the Amy Fadul chair? Is it the Harry Mays chair? Is it the number 2 chair? Ray Dunn was in the number 2 chair earlier this week.
Unsettling. Odd. Strange.
Odd, strange.
You didn't like it?
No, I mean.
Well, no, he's odd and strange.
Yes.
Well, that's true.
I become odd and strange sitting in that chair.
No, you're odd and strange sitting in there.
Well, more so.
Amy, thank you. Great show today. Coming up next, Unfiltered, Bill Colarulo, Ricky Metallico, Silvana. Talk to you tomorrow.
Now on 97.